Inside Stone's Gambling Hall in Sacramento, California, you'll find Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Recognized for its innovative, healthy global cuisine, Sammy's offers menu selections made with local, organic ingredients. Indulgent options like truffle fries, duck tacos, artisan wood-fired pizzas, fresh salads, and more, along with an eclectic selection of craft beers and classic handcrafted cocktails. Plus, with 40 big screen TVs, Sammy's is also the perfect place to catch your favorite game. Satisfy your craving anytime, 24/7, tableside or in the dining room at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar at Stone's Gambling Hall.
Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Game of Thrones. Wait, wrong.
In 2 years
show,
from
wrong
now.
show.
2 years from now, we'll get more
show.
Game of Thrones.
Stones Live. What's going on? Justin Kelly, Brent Harrington.
Hey guys,
How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you again, my friend.
I was watching on the Dream Seat. It was very exciting. Very
It was
exciting.
good. We were trying to break long distance records here, so we would I think we just outdid.
Was that a pun? Lawn distance
long,
record?
It is now.
Yeah,
I love it.
nice.
Dude, this guy's too good. Stones Live. 5-5 tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
It looks like we got a bunch of the usual crazy crushers in this, which it wouldn't be a typical 5-5 game if it wasn't. I think 5-5 here is like the staple of Stones Live. It's just, it gets big enough to be ridiculous and juicy, even though necessarily it shouldn't be, because of the guys that play in it and the uncapped buys. You just gotta love it. Let's go down and walk around the table.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Oh wait, we're getting up. We're gonna go.
That's it. We will literally go
take
do
a lap
laps around the table. All right. Seat one. Let's start it. Oh, Poker Overkill. You know him, you love him. Now, the thing about Shane here, Poker Overkill, is he loves to do whatever the hell he wants to do, and he doesn't need any rhyme or reason behind it. He has no problem air barreling with absolutely nothing for large amounts of dollars, and he gets away with it more often than not.
So it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. I walked in, every time we come in here, I walk in, I look at the table, and I'm like, this should be fun. This is cool. So there you go, seat one, Poker Overkill. Looks like he's sitting on about 1,800 right now, if our chip stacks are accurate. There in seat two, he's not currently with us, but Jeff S.
That's his standard seat too. That's like his spot.
You love Jeff S, man. It really doesn't matter what limit he's playing. He's just in it. He wants to be part of it. I absolutely love him. He's a good dude. And if you haven't played with Jeff S, then you haven't played poker in Sacramento in like the past 10 years. So there you go. And he's sitting on about 1,000. There to seat three, Mike B. Now, I don't know. Mike B, I don't know how familiar he looks. Have you played with him before?
He looks like somebody I've seen before, but that happens a lot. If you're in a poker room and you see a guy playing Hold'em with a hoodie on or something,
the guy
he looks
who took
familiar.
your money.
Yeah.
He's like, oh man, I remember. I think you rivered me one time, and
yeah, I'm sure. I'm just going to create the backstory that Mike B rivered me in a huge pot 5 years ago,
crazy,
and I've
beast.
never forgotten.
He still owes you money. So there you go, Mike B in seat three, sitting on about 1,000. It looks like we have here, and directly to his left, the infamous Peter K. Otherwise known as the Salad Beast. We always have a prop bet. Well, we always have a prop bet, basically, on over/under on how long it takes Peter to order a salad. Normally he does it before 8 p.m. That's kind of where I set the line.
Okay, so we have 56 minutes till salad time.
Exactly, but Peter's just, he's just a good dude, regular grinder, loves to play the game. You know, what can I say? It's Peter, man. He plays here a lot. You can't miss him. So that's Peter. Directly to his left, Peter's sitting on about 850. Directly to his left there in seat 5, Robert Y. Who you can barely, he's like a ninja. You can barely get a picture of him, and that's about as good as
I was gonna say, that reminds me of like The Flash, where he's like vibrating. He's moving so fast, you can't actually get a photo.
That's it. That's Robert Y. An excellent player, is very, very, very knowledgeable in the game, knows exactly where he's at most of the time in just about every hand I watch him play, and a movie trivia genius.
Oh,
do not bet against him. I mean, he could probably tell you the year a movie was made, plus minus 2 or 3 years, any title, anytime. So. Sorry if I just salted your game for all your future prop bets, Robert, but it's the truth. All right, so he's in on about 1,700 here. To his left, we got Porter. And if you've never seen Porter, you've never seen the Beard of Destiny. Only beard I know of that rivals Jake's beard, to say something. And that's saying something. I mean, the only guy who can get Jake a little beard envy, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Porter might be the top beard, currently the top beard, but You know?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other beards out there that I haven't seen.
You know, Porter, he is absolutely growing on me. We saw him enter the stream, I don't even know, maybe 6 months ago, something like that. And he has just been an absolute regular on the stream, crusher overall here around Stones. And I love him. He's a super nice guy. I've seen him take some horrendous beats, and he's just like a stand-up, like shake your hand kind of dude. And not the shake your hand like saying nice call, or I really mean I hate your face.
Nice catch.
Yeah. No, he's actually a really, really good dude. Porter's a really good dude. So always a pleasure to have him at the table. And he's sitting on about 1425. And next to him, we got Paul W. There we go. And we've seen Paul on the stream a lot. Another guy with some gears. You know, and that's the thing is all of these players at this particular game are not afraid to mix it up. In fact, they will be mixing it up more often than not. And they have no problem air barreling, no problem calling air barrels, and that just makes for a fun, juicy game. What can you say?
It's exciting stuff, I think.
So Paul is sitting here at about 1,400, and then to his left, no surprise, Daddy Warbucks, the big chips himself, sitting on just about 4,000. It's Harlen. It's H-Dog.
What a surprise.
You can't miss Harlen. And, you know, what can I say? It's Harlen. All right, next player. Seat 9, Garland. He looks like he's sitting a little bit on the short stack now. He's got about $600 or so, according to our chip count. And Garland, another great player. Took a break from the stream for a while, came back, and it's just, you know, all these players at this table we've seen on time and time again. And so when I come in and I see them all like at the same stage here, I'm like, yes, there will be blood.
I'm getting familiar with a couple of the faces too. So Harlen.
Who gave Harlen all this money?
But I like Harlen and Garland.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's why you put them
next to each other on purpose. I think.
So who gave Harlen all this money? Why does he have 4,100?
I heard something. I told them not to spoil it for me.
Okay.
But apparently something's coming up. So I don't know if that's a
even
result.
Better.
Yeah.
Even better. Well, if nothing comes up, then so you can tell us how he got that money.
Keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, exactly. I did not get it spoiled, though. That's true. If you haven't seen the clip of Harlen winning the bomb pot, I've watched it once, finally.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty amazing stuff. Huge pot with, like Queen 9 top pair, I think, in a bomb pot.
It's
against
ridiculous.
2 straight draws.
Yeah, 2 straight draws and another top pair with a weaker kicker, and absolutely insane. And the way the whole hand worked out was just ridiculous. It was everybody was almost forced in just for pot value at that point. It was pretty ridiculous. Oh, we did miss the big hand, at JFK Stone says. Put a shoe on head to prove it's not pre-recorded.
Fred's always doing
You'll have to settle for a sandal.
Oh, we missed it. So it wasn't actually on the stream. Is that what
So what
getting?
happened? Do we know?
I guess Harlen made a bunch of money.
Well, that sounds like Harlen. I believe it. The story checks out.
Right. This might be it, though. This looks like a hand that could get kind of salty. Or maybe.
Maybe the
might be leads.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe he's not going to continue here. It's going to be pretty hard for him to. But he's first to act, right? So he's. No, actually. Harlen's check calling, I guess. Or check raising. With this made
so
flush.
Harlen checks. Mike B bets 90, it looks like. Oh no, Mike B bets 120 there on the turn, and Harlen just calls. And board bricks out. That means Harlen's got the best. And looks like it maybe checked on the river.
Yeah, I don't see the check call working 3 times with those hearts on the board.
Nope.
Unless you're beat, right? You're not getting another bet from him.
Well, and that's the thing. If you have something like ace, top pair, no kicker, ace 5 there, if you bet and you're getting called, it's only going to be by a hand that beats you.
Right, I mean, exactly. So he's never going to bet if you check to him a 3rd time.
Yeah.
It's hard for him to continue. He has a flush. Yes, he did have a flush. If I said that, I meant hard for him to continue checking. Like he's not going to get any more money once he calls the turn bet.
All right, so it looks like the sandal on my head was good enough for Fried. He knows we're not pre-recorded. Very cool. Poker Pro Eric, Fried, Rob Malt in the house, Blake Crafty, Ghost of M, whoever that crazy Stones Life Poker is, JFK, what's going on? By the way, big shout out, JFK Stone's official birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, he turned 21 again.
Turned 21 again.
I don't know why he's been illegal, how long he's been working at this casino.
Yeah, obviously they got him early. They recruited him out of tournament director high school, or
yeah. Is AA a good starting hand in this game? Yes. M. Baldy, what's going on? All right, so
turn in a straight.
Disco for Poker Overkill, but Robert really doesn't have much to continue here. He'd have to think of 10.
Bet Peter K has a salad before 7:45. We're setting the lines moved up to 7:45. Huh?
Definitely 7:45. All right, we got bets in the chat, guys. Rob Malt says before 7:45. Poker Pro Eric says it will be after 7:45. I love it.
Yeah, I wonder. I would actually be curious if he gets some form of rake back when he orders a salad on the stream, right? Like,
Rake back, he does.
He gets a little bit of his salad back because everyone's like, "Oh, this salad looks pretty good."
Sponsored by Stone's,
Yeah.
Rake Back Salad. The Poker Boss, Sean McCormick in the house, my good friend Sean McCormick in the house. What is going on? Sean just had the unfortunate rough task of hanging out with Poker B from here.
Oh, okay.
And a bunch of other awesome girls out there in Vegas looking for places to watch the fight and hang out and hanging out behind the scenes of Poker After Dark. Life's rough.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be rough out there for them.
It sounds like a tough group to hang out with.
Watt Bry in the house. Watt Bry's out there in Vegas right now hanging out. He shot me some snaps today from the Pinball Hall of Fame, actually.
Oh, nice. Right up your alley. The Pinball Hall of Fame. I guess I'm not surprised that that's in Las Vegas.
It is. A couple hundred games at least.
Jurassic Park Pinball.
That's cool. It was good, Justine. Solid.
Very good. All right.
King
Wow.
Ball for Harlan. Gets there.
I feel like Harlan probably likes his spot here.
Oh,
wow.
now he
Okay.
likes it even better. Now he's praying somebody was committing suicide checking their jack.
Yeah, Mike B has made a somewhat bad habit so far of betting into Harlan when he's got a big hand.
Oh, and
So
look, of course, Mike connects with his ace, maybe just enough to pay off.
Harlan might get another bet here because I think Mike B goes first. Oh, all right. Harlan gets the bet 200. He bets the pot. Yeah. Mike says no thanks.
Nope.
No.
He's out.
Nope.
Says, nope. You want any of this? Nope.
No.
Guys,
No, I do
what's
not.
going on? Good to see ya. Lovely 5-5 game. So it did start out as a $1,000 max buy-in and quickly changed into table stakes after that. So you could conceivably come buy in for the good old Harlan Big Stack of 4K.
Yeah, they call it the Harlan stack, right?
The Harlan
4K?
stack. It's Harlan sized. Man, it is JFK Stone's birthday. I wish we had some super incriminating picture we could flash across the screen. Get right on that, Bob. Please, immediately.
Been crushing him at Aria this weekend. Apparently, Harlan was down at Aria this weekend,
Yes.
and Poker Boss took some of his money. So,
I don't feel bad crushing him at Aria this weekend. Wow.
great job.
Solid.
Poker Overkill, getting a little bit saucy with the 3-2 suited on the button.
Yeah, like I said, Poker Overkill has...
I like people that do that, though.
Poker Overkill does whatever he wants, dude. He is in the house all the time.
What's one of those things if you're going to play that hand? You
And
probably
lots of red,
want to raise,
wrong
maybe?
red.
Yeah.
And he, little does he know, bullet dodged because Harlan had him just crushed in the diamonds department.
Yeah, the 3 is actually, well,
Surprisingly, three-way with this board, Robert 82% ahead here.
I have a hard time thinking anybody is going to be like, it's not very easy for Robert to call this bet. Or maybe it is with the heart.
Man, look at the like 100-degree sun every time somebody
Yeah.
opens the door, just blazing right in their face there.
Oh, wow.
and
And
a
then
5
money
for fun.
now makes it super easy for Robert to continue.
So Poker Overkill bet the 100. Robert called.
Oh, hey, Rob Malt. Sean and Jesse chopped the tournament last night. Mike P. busted in 3rd place.
Yep. Wasn't surprised about that outcome. I mean, when you got Mike Postle and Sean Drake at a tournament final table, generally speaking,
They're 2 of the top 30.
they're going to
yeah.
go pretty deep. They're going to go deep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, they ended up both chopping for, I think, 8,000 and some change apiece. something like that.
84-18, I believe, was
There
the
you
number.
go. Pocket Abe's in the house. What's going on, buddy?
Thanks, Abe's. Excuse me. Just chugging this coffee. and
You're
it's like
not
choking
allowed to die in the booth. There's a rule against that.
yourself. Yeah.
So don't do it.
Well, I won't.
But if you do, you'll become like a White Walker. You'll be one of the walking Dead.
Just
Different show.
haunt the booth all the time. So Robert Y picks up a little bit with a full house on the river.
And
Surprise.
Pocket Five's getting around like a dirty bird. Over to Poker Overkill. He's gonna make it 35 to go.
Ooh, Mike B. I don't know why every time I see Mike B's name I think of the Beastie Boys, but there was never, it's Mike D.
And Mike D.
But still Mike B in my head I'm hearing this.
Boom. When is the Win the Button tournament? I believe it's this next Monday, right? Something like that? Sounds about right. JFK, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's a holiday. So is this next Monday's a holiday?
Labor Day.
Then
Yeah, that's the Win the Button tournament.
Yeah, you're supposed to labor on Labor Day, so come labor at some poker.
Come get 3-bet like crazy on Labor Day.
Now, an 8 peels off here. This does give Robert Y an open-ended draw now.
Yeah, not a lot of money in the pot.
Sick.
No,
and
actually,
he gets the lame end of it, but it's definitely good enough here.
Just no one's going to put any more money in this pot, though, I don't think.
Next Monday, this is streaming the Win the Button tournament.
That's
Looking
right.
forward to all of our booth guys running around trying to keep moving the button in each seat. Like, okay, crap, who has the button now?
Yeah.
Now who has the button? Now
That sounds like a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, pretty solid. Pretty solid.
It'll be fun, though. We're going to really explore the space together.
Racing Guy 8933, what's up? Dropping lyrics in the chat.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, see? Mike B. It looks like Harlan's trying to get back to his seat. They're calling him back to his seat. He's under the gun.
They're like, Harlan, you have all the chips. We'd like some. Can you please get back?
Is that the table really wants Harlan to play? So they're like, don't kill that hand.
Yeah, no, exactly. There are certain players where you're like, no, we'll wait. Are you sure? Because he just went to the bathroom. We'll wait.
He's taking a 35-minute phone call. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
There it is in the chat, guys. The Win the Button tournament.
So Harlan limped? Oh, it's 5-5. Is that
Mike B raises to
raised?
80. Mike B takes it up to 80. Now over to, looks like Robert let go Ace Jack.
I think this is going to be an exciting game. If people are raising the button with the suited gappers and connectors,
I was like Mike B is like, hey, I can play against Harlan.
Could get Taylor to sing for the tournament.
Last time I played against Harlan, the only hands I won against him were, ironically enough, when I had 10-7. So,
there you go.
There you go. It's like he knows.
So Mike B and you have something in common.
Yeah, he knows.
Won a hand against Harlan with 10-7. His check suited, no call. Well, it was a bunch of limpers and then a big raise. And Ace Jack was in the small blind, I think.
I believe so. MJ Sid there. I believe that's our resident Australian viewer out there. Always nice to have you. You complete the circle around the world here.
Right, yeah. We're connected in Australia. Very exciting.
Can we get Taylor to sing for the tournament? I do. Taylor is very fun in the booth. when you just get him singing, it's kind of crazy.
Harlan wakes up with a very nice hand.
Yeah. And nobody ever expects to have Harlan to actually have beasts like that, you know?
True. Harlan's sort of wishing that this is the hand that Mike B decided to make 80 pre-flop, but
please,
he'll deal with it.
Queen 10 open-ended for Mike B. A couple of overs and a straight draw for Harlan. A whiff city for Paul and Peter. We're just waiting to see if we can get Peter to order that salad and have it delivered in the next 27 minutes.
I'm going to go over. Although it doesn't take long to prepare the salad, so if he orders it the next few minutes, he's good. Check out Taylor's stream.
Yeah, Taylor has he streams on Twitch as well when he's playing video games.
Oh, nice. All right, well, it looks like Mike get counterfeited. Harlan makes a little bit of money with Ace King. You don't really expect to get counterfeited with nines, but sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
No salad. Has somebody cut him off from the salad?
So it looks like no, he's just trying to. He has the other end of that bet. So Harlan here 4.5K. Robert Y the next biggest stack at 2K. So Harlan outstacking the person in second of chips.
Go tell Peter to order his salad.
2.5x.
We can't influence the action.
No, we can't.
Yes.
We can't. Besides, with the delay, you'd be out of time anyways. You'd already be.
Oh, that's true. I can look over right now and know whether or not he has a salad.
We can hedge the action. All right, guys. 2-1.
I actually can't see it from here, but still. All right. So far, it's been some very. I'm trying to think of a word. Very aggressive 3-bets or raises from late position raises
with not a whole lot of cards.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, but 3 deuce suited. Yeah, 10-7 suited.
Yeah. That's all you need. Welcome to Stones Live. The deck cooperates. Ghost of M in the house. Suited aces. All right, so again, Mike B popping to 35 with 10-4, good buddy. And 4 right in the window. Lots of spades. Harlan, the only player with a spade. Super cincher on this hand right now. 5s. That's the 3rd time we've seen 5s, and we've only seen like 8 hands.
Yeah. Everyone has 5s. Now Harlan has the nut deuce to 7 hand.
Yeah. Right? I know. He's crushing it.
I would like to play Hold'em that way at some point. Mike B has a piece of it, but he's not really going to play. It's actually a pretty good card for Harlan. It gives him a few more outs. He has the best hand already.
That guy just shows 1-5.
Yeah. Even it's 5-6. They were already giving him credit for the straight.
Well, I mean, that is Harlan's range.
Yeah. He smashes the 2-3-7 flop all day.
That's the problem, is whenever the flop comes like mid-low board and I'm in a pot against Harlan, I'm like, crap.
you just pre-folding.
If
like,
he doesn't have it
regardless.
already, he's got a draw, and we all know that Harlan hits his draws like 86% of the time. So
86% of the time.
real
Nice.
stats.
Let's see. So no real big pots yet. A little bit of chips back and forth. It looks like we missed the biggest pot so far.
Yeah.
In which Harlan got there, apparently.
I'm gonna say, however, I'm just saying, we started with a $1,000 max buy-in, and Harlan has 4.5K. So however the hell that happened,
Yeah.
it was interesting, I'm sure.
It didn't take long for that to ramp up. Mike B looks like he likes to get in there and mix it up too.
Yeah, Mike B, when he's in a pot, like he's applying the pressure. I like it. Oh, here, very playable hands coming along here too. Not for Harlan. See, Harlan's gonna muck ace-9 there, but if you gave him like 6-7 suited, easy call for Harlan.
Yeah.
And I can't blame him. I'd rather take 6-7 suited over ace-9 anyways. All right, king, queen, 7 here. Open-ended for Paul. Gut shot for Jeff S. And top pair for Mike B.
Yeah, everybody has. It's semi-piece. And Stone Live has its. Yeah, Jeff does have a salad and seed too, but that doesn't count.
Does not count.
That is that may influence how soon we get the salad.
A jack would be a little nasty here. It'd be a nasty turn card. So we got Mike B firing out 80. Everybody's coming along. Ooh, another king. Now this is like pretty much one of the better cards that Mike B could see, although it is a heart and completes a possible flush draw.
Yeah. And Mike B is second to act, right? Oh, it looks like it checks through.
And Death
you just
City
hate
for
that
everybody.
too.
And this is rough. I mean,
Probably
this is
no
where,
more action.
No, it's probably. I mean, if it gets checked over to Mike in position, definitely no more action. I doubt you could ever go for value here.
Yeah.
And yeah, checked around.
This is and he's hesitating, showing his 3 kings.
Nobody wants to show.
Yeah. That's worse, because you're just waiting to see a hand that beats you when you have trips
Yeah,
on a
so
board.
I mean, they all checked to him there because he was the aggressor pre-flop and on the flop, but they all checked him on the turn. If you bet your trips on the turn, then you open yourself up to somebody raising and repping that they got the flush. So by doing, the thing is, by checking, then another heart peels, and then you hate life.
Right.
So it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
It's hard to get value in that spot.
Yeah, you're like, great.
If you bet the turn and against an aggressive player, like, you know, we knew that no one really had a good like draw.
Yeah.
I guess open-ended was a decent drawing hand, but
And 5s are back.
jeez,
Give them to Mike B now.
this deck is loaded with only 5s.
Oh, the poker boss, your other good friend Justin, apparently didn't get you one of those Stone Cities yet. It's too bad.
Well, it looks like you have a Stone City.
I definitely have a Stone City.
Wow.
This is the second Stone City I've had to purchase for myself. What's up with all these suited flops?
Yeah.
No clubs for anybody.
This looks like the kind of flop that if nobody's gonna do anything about it, Harlan's gonna lead. Watch
So,
Harlan lead the turn here.
Poker boss, next time you're in town, buddy,
maybe not.
I got one of those cities for you.
No, Mike B says, "All right, I got this."
Suited
Pocket
aces,
five's
yes,
good.
they are still available for players' points on the cards. Fives, I mean, it's an
Pocket five.
impressive
And
amount
they've
of
won
time. Yeah.
Most of the hands.
And it's
All
weird-
of the hands.
yeah, and
Wait, like
even-
Harlan won with 5?
And even on really crappy boards, they're still somehow good.
Yeah. So it feels like there's a lot of people playing hands, but nothing huge has gone down just yet.
MJ Sid says, pocket 5s, suited flops, and salads. Odd day. Welcome to Stones Live, guys.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
That's the tagline for Stones Live. Pocket 5s. It is 5-5.
Pocket 5s.
Pocket 5s.
All day.
They're doing bomb pot tonight. It sounds like this is the last hand before the dealer change.
Oh,
so.
trust me. If Harlan's at the game, they're doing bomb pots.
I think that's a stream standard. Oh, Paul has a nice little hand.
Oh, a couple of A's. That's good. I believe Fried early in the chat was asking if ace was a good starting hand.
It's not bad.
Now, I would only be scared if I was in a pot with Harlan with a flop like that. Against a guy like Peter, that's never in Peter's range any day of the week. So I'm feeling pretty solid there.
Yeah, this feels like a pretty safe flop to bet with aces. And also, I feel like it could be a flop you could check as well, because there's not a lot of... Like, if another spade comes, it's actually not that bad for you.
Yeah. I like this. The Brock is hustling in the chat saying he's middlemaning it, and I respect it. He'll go down to Stones, he'll buy and ship hoodies or zip-ups for $100. I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that.
That's a side hustle, right? And I imagine
and
we're fine with that. Stones hoodies getting out into the world.
That's perfect, yeah.
The more people wearing Stones hoodies, the more people are jealous that they're not right here where these guys are.
All right, guys, this capitalism at its finest. I'll do it for $95. Boom. Nailed it.
Uh-oh.
Undercut.
So,
oh, wow.
We're taking bids on that as well.
Solid.
So dealer change, bomb pot time.
All right, guys, for those of you who don't know what a bomb pot is, check it. Everybody throws in, I wonder what we're doing here. What do you think, 20 bucks? Maybe it looks like that, 25 maybe?
It looks like 20, well, that is the green, yeah, so let's go 25.
So all the players throwing $25 here on a dealer change, then everybody gets to see a flop, and then it's played out post-flop from there. So the pot's already pretty sizable, and everybody gets something to fight for here. And you'll see the pot there adding up. So that's going to push our pot to, let's see, about 200 it looks like.
All right, what do we want to see?
So maybe it's $20 bombs. We'll see. Ace, King, 7. Tough to see what everybody has. A Harlan here, bottom pair. Harlan's
see
bottom
someone with
pair.
a 7.
Harlan's bottom pair is good with like 9-way. Wow.
It's hard to know that, though. I feel like he's going to have a hard time getting any
All right,
action.
not anymore. Now Mike B with a cincher on his hand here with just a pair of 10s.
It's crazy, though, too, because I don't know how many people are going to bet, especially in a bomb pot situation where you have no idea what anyone could have.
2 pair for Mike B on the river. This has been a pretty tame bomb pot so far.
Yeah, he'll probably bet. Oh, I guess he won't bet.
Now,
I guess all you need is...
On something like a bomb pot, I mean, you have no range for where anybody's at. So especially since it went, a club draw possibly got there. Any other 2 pair would get there too. I don't know. If I might be, I'm not going for
You're going to be content getting $200
if I
for
be,
nothing, for showing up.
I'm in check call mode, dude. Yeah. I wrote my name on the SATs. I got minimum score.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
I mean, still $200. Still, it might even be like that's the biggest pot probably seen so far.
Right.
And you didn't really have to do anything. Just check and collect your money. Can we redo that bomb pot? Well, they're going to do it every time the dealers change, so there's going to be a few more of them for sure. Probably none of them will live up to the famous Harlem bomb pot, but...
The bomb heard around the world. Why can't I say bomb? Bomb, 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 bomb. Why can't I say bomb on a plane? Bomb, 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 bomb.
Yeah. You can say bomb as much as you want here.
Yes, you can.
Get it out right now. That way the next time you're in the airport, you're not going to get yourself into trouble.
All right, life pro tip here from the Pokeball says always put lower denomination chips in for bomb pots, 5s, not 25s, because it makes the pot look bigger and makes the post-flop play bigger as well. Because big pots are happy pots. We like bloated pots.
Big pots are happy pots.
So Peter here raising to 35 with ace-queen. Harlan's going to come along.
Yeah, Harlan's happy to play with Jack-9 offsuit. In position.
Oh, yeah.
Cut off.
Give Harlan anything in the cutoff of the button, he's in.
Jeff's going to defend the big with ace-8 offsuit.
Boom. Whiff City for everybody here. And ace-queen high. The nut-no pair is in the lead. Twinkies22, welcome, buddy. The max buy-in to start was 1,000. Now it is table stakes, so you can match up to the largest stack on the table. If you look at all those chip denominations, the greens are 25s, the whites are 100s, and the reds are 5s.
Classic Harlan call. Yeah, I think in a cash game, Jack-9 offsuit in position is not... That's not unheard of.
No,
calling in
absolutely
position.
not, no. And especially if you're just getting splashy. Well, here's the deal. In a 5-5 game, if I'm sitting how deep Harlan's sitting, 4.5K, and the next biggest stack is 2K, I'm going to splash around too with Jack. I'm going to splash around with all sorts of crap. So, I mean, I'm going to have some fun with it.
You're going to see some flops with marginal hands for sure. Where the big pots are happy pots. That's right. We're making all kinds of new Stones slogans tonight.
Lots of pot. Pot's good here at Stones. Wait a sec. That's not what I meant, but it is California.
Oh, fives
Pocket
again.
fives. Oh my God. Okay, guys, what is that? Is that 6, 7 times?
Okay, here's the
five?
deal. Are you going to take pocket fives or the field?
Okay,
to win the hand.
I do. Ready for this? I'm gonna take pocket fives. You can have 9s.
Okay. Well, I get the field.
You
get fives versus the field.
You can have every other hand there, and I want 5s.
Yep.
5s are good.
Oh wow. Some football news coming through the chat, huh? Matt Stafford getting paid.
$25 million.
As long as that means he throws tons of touchdowns for my fantasy football team, I'm totally fine with however much money he gets. There's a lot of people seeing this flop. And
9s are in the lead right now.
Nothing really changes. Although the ace definitely is going to keep people from getting too crazy just yet.
Boom, and now we got a wheel draw from my boy here, Robert. You know 5s are good all day.
It's not unheard of for people to check through again. Although Peter's going to bet his 9s.
Twinkies, no. This table starts, about a half hour before we go live? Maybe about 45 minutes before we go live, something like that?
Something around there. I think they play for an hour.
I think, yeah, with the 20-minute delay, I'd say that, they start playing around 6. So I'd say they probably, and we don't start recording them until about 6:30, 6:40. So, yeah, so something like that, about an hour before-ish. So, yeah, Harlen does run that solid. He just racks up to 4,500.
So far, no salad.
Yeah,
Are we past the salad time?
No, the salad time was set at 7:45. They currently have 13 minutes.
Oh, 13 minutes. Okay. Enough for Harlen to have raked a bunch before the
Welcome to Stones Live, where we side bet on food.
Yeah, sometimes the numbers are a little off, but it's not impossible for Harlen to have been down a buy-in and then back up again. So
Pokeball says the game normally starts about 6, but for some reason when I'm in town, they want to start it around 2 p.m. That's where you do the
It's just one of those things. It's just customer service. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Just really great customer service. They know you've traveled a long way.
That's good. So Harlen here pops it up to Queen Jack. Garland has 10s. He calls. Mike Beacon
Finally, some Harlen Garland action.
Show me 8, 9, 10 out there. What do you guys think about that? 8, 9, 10 would be the sickest flop ever for those hands. I'm just saying. All right, so Harlen does connect with his queen, puts him in the lead.
Salads in America, 2,000 calories and up.
Well played.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be an interesting thing to add. We should add that at some point.
Oh, yeah.
People in the chat can PayPal us money to send stuff.
I'd love it.
Send food to people.
I'd love it.
The table. They're like, hey, they wanted you to have this salad.
They would just have so many trays coming up behind them with food and drinks, and they'd be like, I can't eat all that. Jay Hobbs in the house. What's going on, bud? Oh, and another 6 for Mike is the money card here.
Might be. And he'll get, well, yeah. Based on the action, he might get paid here, although he bet 100 into 150. Harlen.
Yeah. I don't know how stellar Harlen is on this.
Yeah, I could see Harlen folding pretty easily here.
Yeah, I could lay down by Harlen.
There's not a whole lot of money in the pot to even risk it anyway.
And just because you have a large stack size doesn't mean you need to start just donking off free calls,
True.
Like, oh, it's just 100. Boom.
Is that thing too where it's like check, 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 and then suddenly somebody fires out a bet on the river?
And you're
More often than not, they're not trying to win the pot there. They hit something on the river, right? In that case, another 6 or... sometimes that's like a rivered set or something, like a middle set that got there or something like that. It is pretty funny because you're always like, oh man, this guy's a jerk. Why is he betting in this pot that obviously nobody has a good hand on?
You're like, but I had 2 pair and I checked the whole way. And he's like, yeah, but I rivered a straight.
Yeah,
so.
Duh. Harlen's up in there. He's like Prego. It's in there, right? Prego?
Is that their slogan?
It's in there? Ragu or Prego?
I don't know.
Prego, I think. It's in there. Something like that, yeah, I believe. I'm not really a huge spaghetti sauce trivia guy, but close enough.
Apparently, happy B-Day shout out to Jay Hobbs as well. Wow, you birthday stealers, you. Top for Harlen here with ace-9.
Yeah. Throws that pot-sized bet, and that's it. That'll do.
Harlan still with a commanding chip lead over this table.
Yeah.
Garland, Jeff, and Peter all in the under the 1K mark here.
So how do you feel about having that stack when a guy like Harlan has 4,000? Are you happy with the 500 stack right now, or are you rebuying, like refilling up to like 1,000?
So what I'm doing is I don't know. It depends. It depends on if I'm just. It really depends on my overall bankroll. But for me, I don't like to play short stacked. It's not that I need to get up and add on to match Harlan's stack, but I definitely need to have. I need to add on some amount, because when I do get a hand, I want to be able to get paid on it.
Right.
Right now, you don't really have a whole lot of moves, even though it's a 5-5 game. I mean, if you raise, a lot of these pre-flop raises right here, like are $40, $50, $80. If you're sitting there with 600, you got one of those raises, you got one, sizable C-bet or one call of a C-bet, and then you're pretty much in the all-in mode. So I'd like to have a little bit more money to move around. What's Harlan's day job? You're looking at it.
He's also a hat model.
Yeah. Pocket Abe says,
oh, wow.
He's crushing life.
Jeff 3-bets to the ace-king and then gets completely outflopped.
Overkill flops the Stone Cold Nutskis.
How do you proceed here? I mean, obviously he checks.
With a straight flush redraw because reasons.
Yeah. The problem, well, not the problem. The one thing about calling in that spot is that you're probably not going to get paid any more money.
Look at this board run out too. They put like a 4-card straight on the board, then they like pair the board on the river just for fun. And Jeff, I don't think is really going to give him any more money here. But this pot got bloated pretty quick though.
Yeah, this would be one of the big. This is the biggest pot so far, for sure. He called a 3-bet pre, flops the nuts.
Just shy of 800.
Or I guess not. He flops the nuts because he has the straight flush blocker, so he can't be beat by a straight flush on the flop at least.
The straight flush blocker.
Right.
Guys, once again, you are watching Stones Live. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, I'm sure most of you have. I see a lot of regulars here, but click that heart in the upper corner in that region right there. Follow us. We're here with you every Monday and Wednesday doing fun stuff. And then if you click that notifications button when we do fun stuff like final tables of bigger tournaments, maybe next Monday for the Win the Button.
Yep.
You'll know exactly when that's going down. So you definitely want to get notifications.
Just had the last Sunday tournament last night.
Right? And what time did you guys go live? Because you guys didn't even go live till what, 10 p.m.?
Somewhere around 10. Yeah. 10:20. 10:20, I think was. We were done about 1:30, 1:20. Not too bad. A cool 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's more three-way action. This looks like a nice porter flop. Top pair. And I'm sure that's going to end it. Well, maybe not. I guess Jeff has decided he's going to... Oh, it's only $10, so Jeff's going to continue. Now he's got a heart, so he may bet here. Probably betting. Bet's $20. Look like a string bet. But Porter folds.
I said it's good.
Who ended up top 3 in the tournament last week? I had to drop in round 7. Last week or last night? If we're talking about last night's tournament, the top 3 was Mike P.
No, in the top 3 in the tourney, they're probably talking about the Dream Seed. The Dream
right,
Seed,
yeah.
We don't have a payout.
I know, it wasn't Chris Moneymaker.
It was not. It was not. There we go. It was David, Duckworth, and Frank the Tank. I believe David took down first, and I think Duckworth just squeaked in third, maybe? Something like that.
Nice.
Duckworth had it figured out, though. I will give it to him in that, because when it came down to crunch time, he was open shoving or shoving over somebody else's raise every single time, and nobody could call. They couldn't call because they knew, because they were like, okay, well, I can't risk it anymore. The problem is that if you raise and he shoves, you have to fold. If you just shove, he has to fold.
Yeah.
Like, you're giving him the power every time, and he just had it figured out. So he was just like shipping garbage and getting relatively solid, semi-solid hands to lay down. And I was like, this perfect strategy. He's crushing it right now.
It'll be interesting to see what happens when they run that again.
Oh, Ducky was second, yeah. Exactly. I think when they run that again, you're going to get a lot of players who go back and watch the first one of the Dream Seat and kind of basically start figuring out strategy, talking a lot more about that angle of it. Yeah, Ducky was fighting. Oh, and the other sick part is it was either between first and second or second and third, the difference in tournament chips for that payout was 2,000 chips. I forget what the blinds ended at, but there was a 5K ante, so the blinds were like whatever, like 6K, 12K with a 5K ante or something ridiculous. At the end, it ended up being 2K difference in chips for $3,000 basically.
So we got 6-way action. That's not too bad. 6-way action. Wait, and if you consider that it's a family pot, if you consider that everyone else is not at the table currently.
Yeah.
Oh, not a bad turn card for Harlen.
Harlen binks the monster cookie here.
I wonder. I guess he'll get some action from Porter with this one pair.
And Paul's got 4% to chop.
Yeah, Paul says no thanks. Must be nice to be Harlen. Yeah, it's not too bad. That's actually an interesting card in terms of if Harlen actually wants to get paid here by Porter. He may have gotten paid anyway, but he's almost definitely going to get paid with that river. It's got to feel pretty good when you check 6 ways and then turn the nuts.
Yeah, you're just like bink, and then you're just like, who's going to bet my hand for me?
Right, you're first to act, so I guess in that sense you'll get one person to call you with a pair, maybe.
Who is betting my hand for me?
Yeah.
Master C in the house, what's going on? So yeah, guys, lots of fun stuff. We had the Dream Seat last week. We have the Win the Button tournament coming up next Sunday. Then not too far from now, we have the Fall Classic coming up, where we have Annette Oberstad, Jonathan Little, a bunch of those guys in the house. I don't even.
Tuckman.
Yeah, Mr. Tuckman. He's gonna, I'm sure, end up halfway in my chair doing a broadcast.
The one chair setup for the Justin and
Tuckman show. He basically just sits on my lap. We just take turns.
That's what they call hot racking. In the Navy, if you're in the sub and you share a bunk.
Is that what it's called?
If you had the day shift versus the night shift, you'd share a bunk with the guy. I think I've never been on the sub. I would never do that. But
I think me and Tuckman are at that stage in our relationship. Yeah, we're good. We're good. So Robert here flops a straight draw with bottom pair. A little bit for everybody. Porter binks a queen. Harlen with a flush draw.
I found it interesting too. That's like not a lot of flop betting. I think everyone's trying to get that. Like if you're flopping a draw, everyone's trying to get that check raise or a raise in. They're trying to hide the strength of their flop, and it's led to relatively small pots because then when they finally bet, everybody folds the turn, and then here we are.
So Robert bets 40. Porter is going to make the call. And Harlen
would have got there, yeah. Harlen showing some discipline. Yeah, I mean, Harlen's.
The problem is Harlen knows if Harlen has a draw, he always gets it. I don't know how you ever fold. Apparently, it's called a hot cot. I don't know why pocket eight.
Hot cot. Hot cot. Yeah. Well, they would say they cut. Yeah. Well, because like in the Navy, if you're on a ship, they call the bed a rack. Like hit the rack. You know what I mean? So they call hot racking if you're sharing a bunk with the guy that works the night shift. But they're only in subs because they have limited space.
Even MJ Sid in the chat was like, Harlen folded? Come on.
Yeah. I mean, it was like a bet and a call. It seemed like he's on the button too. So I'm actually surprised to see that. So it's a one-time Harlen decides to play, quote unquote disciplined, and he's even mad at himself because as soon as the heart comes off on the river, he's like, "Come on!" It's a very vocal reaction. Peter's at the bar. Yeah, Peter is at the bar eating a salad.
No, that's what it is. That's his read. Robert White here, King 9 suited, going to make it 20 to go. Porter, Paul, and Harlen all come along. Boom,
Yeah,
Queen
people like
10-3, couple of hearts.
hands.
Open-ended for Harlen.
Harlen's like, I'm not folding this time.
Yeah, spoiler alert, Harlen's going to get there.
I have a draw. I'm going nuts. What did he bet? He bet 75? Oh, no, Paul.
Later, Master C.
I'm a Horcruxer. Nice.
Harlen bets it to win it.
Yeah.
See? He knew he was actually doing a pre-value bet because he knew he was going to hit his draw.
That hand that Harlen won all those chips on must have been crazy because the table's relatively subdued. I know last time.
Maybe they're so due because they all need to get their money back from Harlen.
Right, yeah. Everyone's just trying to be like, oh, friggin' Harlen. Every time they fold, they're grumbling under their breath.
Yeah. You know, I love Harlen because his play is really polarizing because he has this great image and reputation of I play any two cards.
Right.
You have to pay him when he has a good hand. And then when he's just completely bluffing you with nothing, you almost have to give him credit for whatever the hell hand is out there that beats you. So Harlen is a difficult player to play against. A lot of fun, difficult player.
Two good-looking hands.
Yeah. Some fun suited connectors.
And
Paul does connect with his 8. Mike B
Paul's
hoping.
first act with middle pair. Check, check.
All right, straight potential now for Mike B.
Oh, wait, no, Mike is first act. Checks twice. I can see Mike B taking this down here. No, it's not Mike B, sorry. Paul W.
Paul, take it.
Yeah, I'm suited connection. Yeah, those are the hands. These guys are definitely, if the hand is coordinated,
Oh, these guys.
they're playing.
That's the reason.
And then if it's like loosely coordinated.
Big cards don't win, guys. Coordinated cards win. Pocket in the house. Greetings and salutations, my friend. What's going on?
I've seen good enough to know that he's got
We got audio. Give me some chip.
working?
Give me some chip sounds. There it is.
Some shuffling.
I had to like really put him to the test to get him to pull down and hold one pair.
Now, relatively uneventful hand folds to Mike B in the small blind. 10-9 offsuit.
That's how much JFK Stones loves you guys. He could have taken the day off because it is his birthday, but instead he says no. Stones live. The show must go on.
Stones live. Boom.
All right, so Mike B loves connectors here, and he raises up to 40. Robert Y makes the call. Both players whiff. Nina Keto, what's going on? Yes, this is Stone's Gambling Hall, located right outside Sacramento, California, here off Highway 80 at the Antelope exit. You're watching a 5-5 no-limit game here. Originally, it was a $200 to $1,000 buy-in. And then after that, it's table stakes, and you can see that Harlen is taking full advantage of that at approaching 5K.
What's interesting is nobody has matched his stack. I wonder if we're going to get to that point. Maybe they think 2,000 is enough. Porter, a few of the other guys have like 1,700, but
yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. Depending on my bankroll, I don't really want to sit there and buy in for 5K and then get stacked by Harlen.
Yeah,
that would make for a really crappy Monday.
Yeah, not great. Actually, yeah, Mondays are already terrible.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be Tech Nine.
Yes, JFK Stone should definitely be at a Tech Nine concert somewhere.
We get a couple of limps here. Some true limps, not the straddle limps, I guess.
Oh, wow.
Gonna lead to a massive pot of
5 players check it out. Big old 25 smacker there.
Ooh,
Ace 4, the
jackpot
poker
hand.
overkill
Jackpot
flops the
incoming.
world. Wow, check that out. And a straight flush draw from
Please
Mike B.
put the 3 of hearts.
Good Lord.
Please
Let's have
continue.
some fun.
Yeah. I mean, how big do you bet a flop full house here? I guess you're betting more than the
If
pot.
that 3 of hearts peels, it is game over for the world right here. You are going to see just shipping it in stacks on stacks.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the flush draw too, so he's going to continue to 1-bet at least. And we'll see what the action is like on
King
the turn.
peels. The sick part is if the 3 of hearts did hit the turn, poker overkill would literally have the nut, right? I mean, outside of that straight flush, right? I mean, that would be so sick.
Almost never. We're never even going to see it. He flashes the draw. I think it's like, let's see that river. Like
Everybody in the chat is just like, 3 of hearts, please, 3 of hearts.
Yeah. To my knowledge, nobody went rabbit hunting to try to find that.
That'd be nasty. That's the sick part about straight flush draws is that they always look so good. Yeah. And you're never going to get them.
Yeah, in reality, you're about to call $50 on a paired board with a 5-high flush draw, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, I think we could have seen that river. I don't think, maybe he didn't want to. Mike B was like, I don't even want to know if it could have been. Would that be good for the bad beat jackpot? Aces full versus
No.
a straight flush?
No.
It has to be higher, like aces
Has to
full
be
of tens?
quads are better beat.
Wow. All right. Well, there you go. So it's less exciting than we thought, but it's straight flush. Garland gets the pocket fives, the hands, the official hand of tonight, pocket fives. Mike B's up in there with the suited connectors, and Paul.
And pocket fives are back in the mix here for Garland. Paul outflops everybody here with a 10.
Ooh,
No players with a heart.
Table 11.
and the 10's fine. Somebody's reloading. We'll see who that is in a second.
800
Yeah, I mean, on that board, you have a flush. He was the only guy with a flush draw. Obviously, Overkill flopped a full house, but
I really want to know how Harlen got that money because something tells me it was like one hand. It was like a three-way
Yeah.
all-in hand or something. You know, it would like just with some sick. That wasn't a slow build. That was one massive like tidal wave.
yeah. Ooh, excuse me. All right, let's get some 4-bet pre-flop action.
Oh yeah.
Hang on,
Good
let me
old 4-bet.
just
Let's
cast
get
some.
5-bet crazy.
Boom. Harlan's away from the table right now, so I don't think we're going to see that.
Live
many.
10 from Poker Overkill here.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Maybe it's going to rev up a little bit. Not if we keep seeing 6 deuce offsuit. Peter's back at the table. Calls with Jack 10. Completely reasonable. Porter also has Jack 10. Also completely reasonable.
So the Poker Boss, did you guys play a little 13 when Poker B was out there hanging with you guys in Vegas? Because that's what you should have been jamming. Ace King 5, Whiff City. Straight draws for Peter and
It's like
Porter.
Poker Overkill is going to fire. Half pot. 80, 90 or, yeah, 90 into 190. Close to half pot, a little bit.
And is Peter coloring up or he might be adding on?
I think he's adding on.
The time has come and gone. The salad bet is null and void. Whoever took the over 745, they're going to win tonight's Peter salad bet. Does Peter even know that we do a salad bet on him every time he's on the stream? Yet?
I mean, it would almost mess with the integrity of the bet if he
Right,
knew.
if he knew.
If he knew that was a
If
bet.
we knew. All right, we're going to keep him in the dark, guys.
Check. Interesting, like a bet by Poker Overkill.
Yeah,
with,
great. And look at Peter
Backdoor
getting a little
flush draw.
splashy, taking down the pot.
Yeah. Too many drinks for 13.
Poker Boss, very, very solid. I believe him. I believe him. He says there was too many drinks to play 13. All the girls all look good. I could barely keep track of the 2 cards in the game. Yeah, that's why they couldn't even play Omaha. He was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You mean 4 cards? No. And wait, 13 cards? I'm not. No.
Not happening.
That's not gonna happen. Must be rough just playing around the Poker After Dark set, you know? Just play. That's a fun home
Yeah,
game
tough
table to
life,
play at.
man.
It's rough. It's rough. Somebody's got to do it, you know?
Yeah, how do you feel about that? Poker After Dark being back, it's exciting. They're totally copying us. I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Like we copied them, but now they're copying us.
Gotcha. So which came first, the chicken or the egg? Solid. Yeah, no, I love Poker After Dark, and I hear they got some big things going on over there, and they're going to build like an even bigger set and more permanent thing, and it's going to be lots of fun.
That said, my life goal is to get Tom Dwan to come play at Stones.
Nice. Solid.
I'm not sure that's going to happen.
So you can just crush everybody here.
You know how many, their line for the stream would be out the door, I think.
Big Rhino Slick, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the chat. So Robert Y here finally waking up with a big old hand here. Jax, he's going to 3-bet.
I like it.
And
Poker
Robert
Overkill.
generally has a relatively snug image, and so I'd be surprised to see Poker Overkill trying to make some move here over the top. I don't know what he's waiting on.
Yeah, wow. Seems.
He didn't know it was on him. I
okay.
knew he didn't know it was on him. I'm like, there's no way.
This could get really interesting. I feel like Mike's probably going to get away from this.
There's really just no reason to get involved here, but Mike says but it was suited.
Yeah. Mike B wants to mix it up.
Against
Welcome to the string might be.
I might against a few players, but not against a player.
Well,
like
maybe he's new enough where he doesn't know yet.
It's just a player like Robert Y. When his 3-betting range is pretty narrow, and it's generally jacks or better.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, so far at the table, the 3-betting range has been pretty limited. There hasn't been a lot. So, you know, I don't think Robert. Oh well, Mike B is not above betting just to bet.
There we go. Look at the zero. It says, hey, it's the Israeli Ron hand. For those of you guys who don't know, Queen Deuce is definitely the Israeli Ron hand, for sure. He has it tattooed on him. He always throws things up on social media whenever he wins a giant pot with Queen Deuce.
Oh, yeah. Can you truly call Dwan a good player? Oh, I don't know. I just know that he's popular. I feel like people would want to play with him.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Just to say they've done it. So... Oh, wow!
Wow, Mike B goes all in. Wow, bold strategy.
That's not a...
And this could set up some alarms for Robert Y, as in, why so much?
He might get...
Let's
he might get
see
called
what happens here. He really wants to...
I think Robert was planning on calling any river bet. And then...
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it was 780, and he was like, huh?
780. Overshoved the pot by, like... $300.
And the problem is Robert's trying to think, did you overshove this pot with a 7? And why so much? Because they both checked the flop. Mike B fires the turn hard, 175. Robert calls it. Yeah, that is a bold strategy, Cal. Let's see how that pays off for him.
Man. Oh,
he makes the call.
Mike's not excited about it at all.
Great call. And you know what? I shudder to think if Mike B bet something that looked even more fishy, like almost slightly,
like half of that or something.
Yeah, well, because the stack's only 780, right? So what if he actually takes a line and bets like 400 to where it looks like almost like a weird donk bet because like you don't have anything behind, like right, almost like you're trying to get value out of it, but I think shipping all in is kind of what set off some alarms for Robert there, and was like, why so much? We were cool, we checked the flop, and then you pumped 175, and then you shipped your whole stack. I mean, I don't know. I was pretty positive Robert was going to call that.
Yeah, I think Robert has to like his spot there. No draws really got there. I mean, what is like a potential, maybe pocket tens or something like that? I mean,
the line he was trying to rep was a 7, but Robert's also got to think, how many 7s do you have when you're calling my 3-bet?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, granted, we obviously know that it's very capable if he's making that move with Queen Deuce, but he could have, he loves suited connectors. They don't know this, but he could have that 7-8, 6-7 type hand, and they both check the flop. But in the end, I like it.
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I hope Mike B buys in again. He was.
Vegas Jaden, what's up? We are not on YouTube Live tonight. I don't think so. So I don't know about watching on your TV. However, if you do have a smart TV, Twitch has an app built into a lot of these smart TVs. I know what I personally use is Google Chromecast. I have one on every TV in my life, in my house, everywhere. And I can fling anything I want basically from my phone to it, including Twitch, YouTube, all the above. And they're only $35, so go get one. Go get 10. I keep an extra one in my backpack. All the time.
Yeah. I mean, I need to get one. I think I have a Roku.
Yeah, I know. I have one of those too, but the Chromecast are just easy. And it's cool because anybody from their phone can randomly, as long as they're on your Wi-Fi, just fling, I'll fling Twitch, I'll fling a YouTube video, I'll fling whatever. So
I actually prefer that to plugging in stuff.
Yeah. So Garland pops it up here, and Poker Overkill looking to boat. He does not.
Garland's going to win his first hand of the night. I could see him getting paid here too, 230 in the pot, make a bet of like 150 or something. Maybe not with the clubs getting there.
Ghost of M.
He bets 100.
Ghost of M says, what are the highest stake stones would ever make the stream game? I mean, as long as we have players to play it, we don't really care what the limit is. Like Poker Boss chimed in, we've definitely done a 100, 200 limit game.
It's been a 10-25 no limit
even
before.
then, we've had 10-25 live 50 live 100 games. I know there was one where JC Tran was in here, and there was there was like 50K, 100, there was like 100K on the table. I mean, it was ridiculous. Like
plus the Dream Seat
hand.
was 5K buy-in, so it's a pretty big stuff. I think it's getting bigger. I think the players, there's definitely a pool of players that are willing to play big here.
Yeah.
Plus visiting players. I know that 10-25 game, Nanonoko came in and played, I think.
Yeah. Vegas Jaden, what's up, buddy? Yeah, absolutely. See you in 8 weeks coming out. Monday, October 23rd, Vegas versus Cali stream. Let's do it.
Ooh. Monday, Can I stream it to my Fire Stick? Probably.
Just talk to our good friend Google, but I'm pretty positive that you can stream Twitch to your Fire Stick.
Well, I would imagine so because Amazon owns Twitch.
Oh, yeah,
for
well, then
100%.
yes.
But
then yes.
any sort of thing that you, but yes.
JFK Stones with the good dad joke saying they make a cream for that about streaming to your Fire Stick.
Ew.
Solid.
Ba-doom.
All right, so open end here for Porter, top pair for Poker Overkill. Jeff's sixes did not connect, but not the worst.
You know, for
board.
is kind of like a tight sort of image that I would imagine Jeff has.
Yeah.
He's calling in some spots where.
And look at this turn here. This is a sick turn. So now Porter's open-ended, picks up a flush draw as well.
Wow.
Remember driving that dude home to Stella drunk one time? He's chasing Mia around her guy.
Checked around on the turn, and Porter gets there. That's actually another hand where Poker Overkill makes two pair and loses.
Yeah, can't do it.
I mean, not that
Never good.
Not that two pair is necessarily the best, but we played 5-5 half and half, 5-10 half and half. Oh yeah. We put some Twitter. My trick skills are very minimal. I didn't know how to post on Twitter.
Okay, guys, official judges ruling. There's actually a Twitch app for the Fire Stick. Just log in to your Fire Stick and you can get it from the Amazon store.
Bam. In general, though, you can typically like cast whatever is on your browser onto your TV just from being connected to it. So
Yeah.
a lot of the newer phones have buttons. So if you're on the Twitch app on your phone, there'll be a
just
little
press the
button.
little
You just
icon,
press it,
yeah.
and as long as you're logged into your Wi-Fi, it'll be
It's
good to go.
magic. It's called the magic button.
It is. Looks like Mike B's reloading. That's right.
Sacramento Fire Stick. Yeah, that should definitely be a Urban Dictionary term.
Wow. That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, we might have to put that in there.
I'm not sure.
Yep, so it looks like he did reload. Looks like he reloaded for a nickel. Peter K waking
good
up with
luck, Mike B.
sevens. Yeah,
Let's
raises
go.
to 35. Porter.
Oh, this could get a bit saucy here.
Porter's going to call the 35.
Did he really just fold ace queen?
And Harlen taking all of Peter's outs with the 7.
Yeah. Little white guy.
I mean, are you gonna fold ace queen there? To a raise?
No, I would
I feel
not.
like maybe I saw that incorrectly. It looked like
think I
Paul
saw the
might have had
same,
ace
so.
queen.
All right, guys. So race to 35. Everybody and their mom calls 8-5-5 on the flop. Open-ended for Harlen. Porter's 10s in the lead still.
For your beloved Twitch regulars, just so you can host a Twitch game. Oh, that'd be an interesting, like the chat game, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
9 players from the chat.
Absolutely.
But then
yeah,
who would be in the chat? Well,
Just talk to good old JFK Stones. We always like to do fun themed games like that. I know for a while we were working on one with food names, like crispy bacon and
Well, we have
having all those
steamed
guys
milk
in it.
now.
Yeah, steamed milk right after last night.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, he's eligible.
Oh, Harlan's the one continuing.
Porter
here,
bets
so-
110. Harlen comes along. Brick City on the turn. Now we're talking about range. We all know that that's right in Harlan's range. Let's see if Harlen tries to take the betting line here or wants to take a free card for the draw. He checks as well. Disco City for Harlen. If you have a draw and your name is Harlen, you're good.
Apparently, we're not surprised. So what
let's
is
see
he
what
going to
he does
bet?
for value.
150?
100 and a quarter.
125.
Lied, 150. Yep, and it's sick. Look, Eddie, I put you on 6-7. That's why I said it's so sick.
Yeah, that never feels good. I don't think.
God, I love Porter. What a great read. He's like, dude, I put you on 6-7. I hate that. I hate that river. Well, we have one official player in the chat saying he's changing his name to Harlen.
Changing his name to Harlen. Oh, all right. Is it
I'm
going
gonna
to be?
name my firstborn after Harlen, so they just have like run good in life.
Let's try to think. What are some other famous Harlens?
Harlen runs better than Forrest Gump. Keep him coming, guys. And that pumps Harlen to the 5K mark. He is activated beast mode.
Robert's been chipping up though. He's made about 1,000 thanks to
Robert
that
chipped
hand
up
against
after
Mike
the
B.
jacks. Guys, I'm going to punch in the command here. For those of you just tuning in, you're watching Stones Live. This is a 5-5 no limit game. Started out with a $1,000 max buy, and now it's table stakes. You can match up to the largest stack. Green chips are $25 chips. Reds are 5s. Whites are 100s. And I'm going to punch in this lovely command here called Cash Win. So far since the stream started, Robert Y's up about 1,200. Harlan's up about 9. And
Only 2 winners.
And everybody else is stuck. Yeah.
Garland's hanging around though, only down $30. That's pretty good. You're playing 5-5 for a couple hours.
Yeah.
If you're down and you're only stuck like $30,
You're good.
You're
Just call it
feeling
break even.
feeling pretty decent. Garland's just like, I'm gonna go home.
Yeah.
I paid my $30. I had a nice meal. I ate a salad or
good.
something. You know. I think is this the bomb pot
This
time?
is a bomb pot. So I know we have some new viewers in there. Long story short, bomb pot is all the players throw in $20, and it gets checked around automatically. They all see a flop, and they play from there.
Harlan's in the Twilight Zone ironic hell where he can't stop winning.
First world problems.
Yeah. Sounds like a tough episode of the Twilight Zone.
10 Jack 3 peels off. Poker Overkill. Solid cinch on this hand here. A couple of overs and a straight draw. Paul, best hand currently. Top pair.
And Poker Overkill's going to bet his draw. Or he bet, or Paul bet, and Poker Overkill called.
Apparently, the name Harlen is actually also in the Urban Dictionary, and it kind of fits him. A little scary. I'll take your word for it. I'll look that up later.
Yeah.
All right, so Paul bets 100. Poker Overkill calls. Brick on the turn. Paul's got some slight kicker issues. Now, remember, this being a bomb pot, you really have no idea your opponent's range. Oh, and it's going to get through. But I like Paul. I like Paul's bet there because he's going to get information from Poker Overkill if he gets a big raise or something like that. I don't think Poker Overkill's ever calling with a 3 there, but you never know. A creature said to be extinct with the ability of clapping extremely loudly is said to be one of the most attractive beings who ever lived, thus a term for ladies'
high
man.
praise for Harlen.
Did Harlan put this term in there
Yeah.
himself?
Here, it's said to be extremely attractive.
Did he submit his own definition? I bet he did. I want to see who put that in there.
I'm going to say someone named Harlan put that definition in there.
Exactly.
Or maybe one of somebody who's dating a Harlan.
Nice.
They're like, oh yeah, we have to play him up. So Paul gets a little back from the bump out. It looks like he might have bought back in or refilled a little bit.
He refilled 500 and then he just took down Paul just took down the bomb pot, right?
Yeah, I think Paul added a little bit to his stack.
Okay,
there,
gotcha.
before that hand. And then obviously Mike B, he's got like 900 in front of him.
Not as good as a 6-7.
Peter with the mystery hand. Oh, there you go.
Show me 5, 6, 7 on the flop.
Yeah, this could be fun.
Oh, close. 5-9 deuce here, a couple of clubs. Mike B connects with top pair here.
Was that a quick bet? Quick 20 by Robert there?
Quick 20 by Robert with a straight draw. And now it looks like we're going to go in for a slight raise here on the button. Robert and Mike B already having some history here. Justin, who would you
Mike B bumps
trust
him.
the most if you bought someone into the WSOP main event from this table?
I have my guess already.
You know, it's weird because I know a lot of these guys are solid tournament players, but you know, cash versus a tournament of the WSOP size. For me, believe it or not, oh man,
Pretty good turn.
I'm actually thinking Robert Y.
that was my guess.
That's
yeah.
my pick. I'm thinking Robert Y to go deep because he's got the patience to play in a tournament of that size that you need when you're playing for days and days and days. I would go Robert Y as my pick. Now, who would I stake to just be like the ultimate run good cash monkey and just bring me all sorts of cash? Is Harlan.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. Mike B's mixing it up in there. He's making a run for the title there.
Yeah.
Get a little wild.
Yeah, I like Mike B. So obviously he had the big loss against Robert. Whatever, shit happens. You make a play, it doesn't work. However, I like that Mike B, like you said, is mixing up. He's all over the place. I mean, and it's really tough to pinpoint him.
Playing a lot of hands tonight.
Yeah.
And it's not that he's necessarily picking bad spots or whatever. He's just playing a lot of hands.
Speaking of picking spots in general, this is the spot you want to be on Monday, guys. Win the button tournament. It's exactly like what it sounds like. You win the pot, you win the button. It's going to be rad, and every time you win, it's going to suck for the players to your left because they're going to be paying a lot of big blinds. That's going to fill up quick. I think it's $100 and something buy-in. I think registration probably opens at least 24 hours before. This is one of the tournaments where I know it's going to get sold out because it's so unique. So if you can, get down here a day early, buy in.
Plus, it's Labor Day, right?
Yeah,
So,
so just get your seat.
have your barbecues and all your fun over the weekend, and then come here Monday and win the button.
For somebody asking to confirm that Harlan runs like God, there he has his own command. There it is. Harlan is a 13-minute clip.
Harlan does
just
okay.
barely beat Rob Malt to it. That's how you know Harlan runs like God.
That's it. Actual confirmation.
Right here, I'm doing the old. This is a poker tell at the table.
Right,
The old hand across the chest.
Well, I think that just because of how I find myself doing that sometimes, and I think it's because of whatever level the thing is at.
Right,
it's
you
just
gotta
like,
lean
what are
down.
you? So you're doing this. You're doing this. You're doing a little bit of this. I don't know. Like.
So Paul with Ace King pops it to 70.
It's a fun spot to have Ace King when a bunch of people limp.
Harlan says, "Sure, let's do it."
Why not?
Larson says, "I'll take Peter. I'm gonna spend 10K on the entry, 400 on Run Good Salons. It's a guaranteed profit." Can we start a slow clap for that man, please? All right, so top here for Paul. Bottom pair and straight draw for Harlan. It's just enough to get him in trouble. Get a little splashy. Paul bets 75.
Harlan says okay.
Quick call from Harlan. Brick on the turn. No help to either player.
Yeah, they are allowed to watch the stream. A lot of them do watch the stream.
Yeah, Nina Kita,
Or at least listen.
They are definitely allowed to watch the stream. We actually have it playing on a couple different TVs around the room here. Obviously, with it being on a 20-25 minute delay, that's it. It's not going to help them out.
I actually just had an interesting thought. What if they played a win the button cash game? Would people play that?
Why wouldn't you?
I mean,
play it.
yeah. That'd be-
But I don't know if it has the same kind of... If the blinds aren't increasing, it doesn't have the same kind
that's
of
true.
pressure.
That's true.
I mean, because when those blinds get bigger later in the tournament, good luck with that.
Yeah, it should be a fun tournament.
You
to
have an
watch.
aggressive, awesome player 2 seats to your right, and you have 10 bigs, and he just literally blinds you out in like 10 hands. All right, there it is, guys. You want to be here for this. The $250K, the $250,000 Fall Classic here. Jonathan Little, Annette Everstud, David Tuckman, Justin Hammer. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
Not only is it going to be great tournaments, great structure, we're going to live stream all those final tables, but there's always a crap ton of action in the room while that's going on.
Oh, right, yeah,
Because
for
everybody
sure.
busts
Stone's
out of
gonna
those
be
tournaments.
packed.
I mean, yeah, we're good. And in fact, I don't even know if this is like news that's allowed yet, but I'm going to say it anyways. We are going to be setting up some extra tables just for this tournament.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Extra tables.
Extra tables.
I
Vegas
thought you were going to
Shade.
announce like surprise guest.
No, just me.
Just you.
Vegas Shaden got Twitch working on his Fire Stick right on. Yeah, for those of you watching, if you don't have a Chromecast or Fire Stick, get one. Then you can watch this. You can watch us in full HD glory on your
Right.
TV.
You have a you. Chances are you have a nice TV.
Yeah.
Get off of the monitor and watch it on your nice TV.
So
for sure.
Porter here flops a wheel draw. Jeff in Whiff City. Now Porter, the only one with a club.
And gets a double gutter now.
Yeah, you can watch it on your Fire Stick, but if you open it up on your phone or your tablet, you can actually put it into just chat mode, where you'll just have the chat on your screen, and you'll have the footage on your TV. Guys, I do offer paid tech support here.
Oh, for
if there's
sure.
anything else you guys need.
He's a part-time geek squatter. Happy birthday, Ryan and Ruffy.
Ryan Ruffin,
Watching-
happy birthday,
Watching from Windsor,
stud.
Canada.
Drunk as a
Drunk
skunk.
as a melon farmer.
I love it. 42nd birthday, like a boss.
And the Samsung J3 or J something. Yeah, Samsung.
Rob Malt, I had an absolute blast with Lon. He is a genuinely good guy. The only thing that would have made it better is if he had his dog Chachi with him.
Wow. Our dog. Has the dog been in the booth before?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
the dog. Normally, people tune in to watch the dog.
Oh, okay.
And Lon is a special guest outside of that. But really, we just tune in for
okay.
it's live Chachi cam.
Got it. The live Chachi cam, man. Yes, chatting is half the fun. That's part of
Absolutely.
what makes Twitch great. That's true. I guess if you're watching on your TV, you might not be able to chat. But if
Yeah,
you have a
that's why I punched in
keyboard
the
or
chat.
something,
That's why I
yeah.
punched in the chat only mode on my phone, so I can just do that while I'm watching.
Can you get a shout out?
Yeah, good. Let's just good old Stones Live shout out to Low Class Hookers. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, really excited to have low class hookers.
Huge fan. Huge fan.
I'm sure there's several HBO TV shows about
Oh my God.
experiences like that.
That is not what I thought when I heard of Poker After Dark. That is not. It's not. Thanks for the kind words, Ryan Ruffy. You guys are great. We really appreciate having you all here. For those of you who are just maybe joining us from the homepage, you're watching a 5-5 no limit action here on Stones Live.
Yeah.
Make sure you click that heart and follow us. We're here with you every Monday and Wednesday, spewing large amounts of money and generally giving some to Harlen.
Right. Well, we're not giving it. Somebody's giving it to. Oh, thanks, Vegas Jaden, for the news updates on the current state of low class hookers. Apparently, not great. Not great. Is that Poker after?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be televised. I know right now it's a Poker Go exclusive because they're the ones, putting out all the money to get it all produced and done. I would imagine at some point, though, that some of the big networks will just buy footage and kind of clip out late night things as they see.
I wouldn't be surprised to see
Yeah,
that
but
show up on
the
some
poker boss
NBC
here in the chat would be the guy to touch about that. Mike B with ace 10 raises to 20. Paul with a notching hand here. Ace
I just
jack is going
noticed
to call.
Paul's rocking the Seattle Supersonics hat
Yeah.
too. It's nice, gray with the black. It's a good looking hat. I'm not a hat guy, like I don't wear hats, but I definitely think some hats look cool.
Oh, look at this. Mike B outflops Paul, the original aggressor here, flops top. And looks like he's going to bet 25.
Paul is not going to go away that easily. Shout out to the Bunny Ranch. Oh,
I got a funny story about the Bunny Ranch that we'll share here after this hand. It's good. See if I get fired.
let's get a, yeah.
Good times.
Might be checks. Paul leads. Or takes the initiative $60.
So check, bet, call.
Might be he's not folding, and it might be he's not going to fold here either. But I don't think Paul's going to bet again. Hey, I don't know. I guess maybe you can bet here. Yeah. Not loving it. Done. Yeah, can't wait for this one.
And he tables it to win it. Okay, my quick Bunny Ranch story. I took a motorcycle ride with a buddy of mine up to Reno. And we get there, and we're playing at, I think it was the Pepper Mill.
Okay.
We're just grinding some cash games, having fun, we're drinking, and you know how it is. I mean, when you're at a good table, you're grinding back and forth, you're having a blast, you're throwing money around, and we're just the lives of the table, we're having a blast. And this one lady sitting in the corner of the table is like, oh, hey, how long are you guys in town? Oh, just for the day, we got to go, I got to work tomorrow. She's like, well, you should stay. Come on. I can't really, She's like, all right. Well, what if I comp to your room? And I'm like, no, I can't. I have no idea who this girl is, right? I'm like, oh no, I can't. And she's like, well, what if I comp to you like a suite on the top floor? And she's like, consider it buying my entertainment for the night. Okay. And then she's like, well, I'll write your boss a note so you don't get in trouble. And she whips out this pink notepad and is like, hey, sorry I had to steal your boy for the night, and hands it to me. And it's Madame Suzette, the main head lady from the Bunny Ranch who runs all the girls. I'm like, wow. Well, let's see if my boss gets mad. I don't know. We'll find out. It was good times. So yeah, suite on the top floor.
Really, that's just like the teaser to the actual story.
Yeah, no, that's it. No, yeah. That's all I can say on the chat, guys. Buy me a drink when you see me. We'll get to the rest of that story.
Some four-way action.
Wow, you've heard the story?
I did, yeah.
Four-way. Oh, sorry, I'm just kidding. All right, 8-9 deuce here. Couple of diamonds.
Lawson's impressed. Wow, good story.
Yeah, there's a lot more to that story, including roadblocks getting set up and getting arrested and all sorts of good stuff.
Oh, yeah, Brent with the spoiler. That's right, four-way action. Some sweet four-way action. Next stream. We got some action. Harlen bets. Middle pair. Porter calls. Does not believe Harlen. Or at least thinks maybe he's on a draw or something like that.
Oh, you better start believing Harlen. 2 pair for Harlen now.
Marotimus better story.
I'm sure lots of NBA.
I'm sure lots of better story.
I'm sure lots of
almost
NBA.
Dying.
Lots of NBA players have a lot better stories.
Maybe he's got several better stories and one not better story.
I'm sure. I'm actually trying to remember if I was actually of age at this point. I don't even remember.
That'd be important before you go and spill the beans about the rest of the story.
Not that it really mattered. So Harlen's still our resident big dog at 5K. Will Harlen give any of this back tonight, or will we just keep?
I don't know. He's kind of just been moving up.
Gonna keep going that stairway to heaven.
I think so. I mean, it's either like that's gonna be 10K before we're done, or
yeah, I feel that's gonna approach like 8 to 10K, or he's gonna just like go bust and just walk out.
I guess the exciting part about Harlen is it could just as easily be either thing.
Yeah.
All right, Mike B with a hand. Queens. This is by far the best hand Mike B has had all day.
Harlen plays pretty much any limit games. I think Harlen, he was played on Poker Night in America. That was a 25-50, and he's played on our big games, our 10 25-50s. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty solid.
It's a little bit of action from 3-4. I think Jeff will peel one here for 25 or 20 bucks. 25 bucks. Turn is a 7. Jeff may still continue here. Check, check. 5. All right. So Mike B with the best hand checks. Oh, excuse me, you didn't check. Jeff led. And Mike, I think I might have liked to see a bet on the turn.
No.
Or you don't hate a bet on the turn. You've got the queen of diamonds and the queen. I think, I guess
yeah, he had plenty of redraw.
Yeah. But he ends up him not betting on the turn gets him an extra 50 bucks when Jeff.
MJ Sid, I'll have to book a trip out there, man. I actually have a buddy of mine who moved to Australia a few years back. So I got to go out and say hi to him too. He's come out and seen me like 4 times already, and I haven't been out there.
Wow.
I don't know, man. Something about Australia, just like there's like 11 things that could kill me.
Yeah.
Like
I've never
spiders
been,
and snakes and bears. Oh my! And the cute kangaroos that'll apparently rip your face off and box your guts out. Good times in Australia.
Ripped your face. Yeah.
Biggest no limit games we have here at Stones. Payment. We've ran some 100, 200 limits on the streams. No limit. It's normally pretty much the 10, 25, 50 straddle.
This game plays pretty big.
What's up?
This 5-5 plays pretty big.
That's the thing is, and we've said it before for those of you guys who are just tuning in, maybe the games at Stones definitely play pretty solidly big for the level that they're at. I always say the 1-3 here plays like the 2-5 and so on and so forth, and that's because of these uncapped buy-ins, or essentially the match the largest stack buy-ins. Games escalate quickly. I've actually seen players leave kind of a tight 2-5 game to come hop in a 1-3 game that was so juicy everybody had like thousands in front of them at a 1-3 game.
Yeah. Well, if you hit that table later in the day too, the table stakes, like everyone's got like $3,000 in front of them or something.
Yeah.
It might not be great for the guy who gets to sit down unless you're buying in for $3,000.
Now, I've seen players walk over to those games and like, oh, seat open, and they come over with their couple $100 to sit down. They look at everybody's stack, and they just turn right back around and start walking away. They're like, hell no, dude, I'm not sitting $300. Everybody's got like $4,000.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how much of the bomb pots. 25 a piece, right?
Yeah, so actually I believe they're doing 20 here. The bomb pot thing is actually something that was orchestrated by Harlen, go figure, right? And essentially what it is...
The main benefactor of the bomb pot as well.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not really like some sort of set thing. I know sometimes they, in the bigger limits, they'll do like $50 bomb pots. I believe tonight they're doing $20 bomb pots.
The biggest pot I ever won at Stones was a bomb pot in PLO.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was nice. I flopped bottom set on a rainbow board and
it held?
Yeah.
Is that allowed?
It was interesting. Well, I actually, yeah, it was one weird thing. Some guy bets 180, another guy calls, I call, the guy behind me shoves like 700.
Yeah.
Everybody folds, and I'm like, oh, I mean, if anybody else had called, I think I could maybe fold, but.
So Paul pops it up here with ace-4.
Mike B. A nice little couple hands here from Mike B. See what he does. Just calls.
Can you get stoned at Stones? You can do whatever you choose to do. Obviously, I would recommend not doing it inside the casino. That's probably a bad idea.
I feel like
So Ace Queen here might
this
be.
is a no smoking room, right? So if
Yeah,
you're
the
smoking
entire room is
anything,
no
you wanna be
smoking. So
outside
yeah, no,
anyway.
you can't even get away with like, it's just a vape pen. Like, don't.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, Peter's eating a salad. Nailed it.
Oh wait,
It's 8:25.
Hour later.
It's a solid split, man. You got to split the
Yeah,
middle.
that's
8:30. That's where it's at.
it's here now. And he's got some sriracha for the salad too. That's an interesting choice of topping. Mike B takes us down with Ace High.
Sounds like a lot of people are really going to do this. They're going to start making a shirt that says, "I got that Harlen run good." It's so great. I love it.
You know, that is not a bad idea. If you want to make a shirt,
Yeah.
a Stones Live fanboy shirt of Harlen or whoever your favorite is. I imagine
that.
Harlen would probably be one of the crowd
yeah.
favorites, but there's some other guys out there. The Porter shirt with the beard would probably.
We should just, I'll just make a shirt that's like a super like nice like quality plain T-shirt for Harlan. It just says like, dude, hashtag Harlen run good. Just like boom, done.
just like white on black.
That's it. It's easy. That's all he needs.
Boom. Google a picture of Harlen. I don't know. Put it in the middle of the shirt. I can't believe they let him eat at the table. Well, I mean, the food here is really good.
Yeah.
The service here is great. They give you a nice little table.
Yeah, they bring it right over to you. Now, if they actually eating on the table, that would be a different story.
Oh, right, yeah. They're
Don't
not
do
letting you eat on that table. That's why they bring you the little side table.
that. Yeah, my only precursor to that is if you are going to order something at the table, just for your own sake, really, probably something that involves a knife and fork is better than something you're grabbing with your hands. I'm just going to put that out there.
I always try that if I end up getting like a sandwich or something, to do one hand. Like I wash hands and then I'm doing one hand. It's not very easy, so I think I always go with knife and fork from now on.
All right, Poker Overkill here with a fun little flush draw here. Mike B with bottom pair. And Harlan hanging out in Whip City.
Mike B seems like the kind of player that is going to continue when he flops a piece of the flop, especially on the button. I think a lot of people are continuing in this spot. I mean, he's currently ahead, not anymore.
Oh, God, and his hand just gets so much better here for Poker Overkill.
I can see Mike B folding.
You know what? I would do some boneless chicken wings. We'll do it.
Harlan eats continues. There you go. Poker Overkill takes the 10. So you said, Mike, what did Mike B buy back in for?
I thought he bought back in for 500, but that might have just been when they were setting down a rack of red. Maybe they brought him another stack of green after that.
Okay.
I don't know.
So let's guess I'm going to guess he came in for 1,000 and he's up 300 on the second buy-in.
That's good. Safe to say.
So it's still down a little bit after that big hand
Still
with
puts him
Robert
down
Y.
about 700 overall for the night.
But that's been the biggest pot so far, was Robert Y getting all the money when Mike B bluffed the river. Well, I guess technically, it's a bluff. When you river bottom pair.
Oh, that was a bluff.
Bluffs the river for all his chips, and Robert Y takes it down. Other than that, a lot of speculative hands that haven't really hit the flop. We could have had some pretty crazy hands.
I was waiting for the straight flush against both.
Yeah, that's true. We've almost gotten there a few times.
Raw meat delivery, what's going on, bud? This is some 5-5 no limit action here at Stone's Gambling Hall.
No limit, hold them.
No. Yeah, you can never justify it.
Whether it doesn't matter what it is.
You can try really hard.
2, 8, 10 here, couple of spades.
Man, it sure is
Nobody
nice
really
when
connects here. Poker Overkill's pair of deuces is the best currently.
walk out the plane and get in and go.
No limit poker's for rich people. I beg to differ. I enjoyed back in the online days. I enjoyed grinding like the 10 cent, 20 cent.
micro stakes, yeah.
You go, oh, dude, I just bluffed off my whole stack. It was like $8.68. Oh.
When the blinds are 1 and 2 cents.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, Poker Overkill does love those suited 1 gappers, 4 gappers, connectors,
Just give me suited. They can be a million gappers. I'm in.
a million gappers. I think there's a lot of that. Like I said, there's been a lot of real speculative type hands, and and nobody's really smashing the flops that hard.
No, you know, sometimes the Stones Live deck cooperates, and sometimes it just says, I'm just going to give everybody pocket fives tonight and not really do anything.
Pocket fives been all night, like, you know, but it hasn't.
It's funny. Right as I look down, I see Rob Malt's comment about haven't seen pocket fives in a while. I was like, tell me about it. I know.
And Garland has pocket fives. No, he doesn't. Dang it.
All right, so Poker Overkill here is going to race to 20. 3 other players coming along.
So in general, I think Poker Overkill's raises and playing hands in position.
Ooh, lots of 6s for Peter.
Queen 9. Oh,
Top pair for Porter.
that's salad luck.
I'm telling you guys, that salad run good.
Yeah. Yes, raw meat. We're at the place.
We are here.
in the building.
We are 100 feet away, ish.
100 feet. Yeah.
That's about right.
That salad kicking in. Yeah. Well, I mean, pot limit, you die slower. No limit, you die rich quick.
All right, so Peter bets 35 on the flop. Porter makes the call. Turn brings an 8. Potential for 4 hearts out there if another one comes. Oh,
Wow,
quads!
Just squads.
Quads. So Peter boats on the turn, and then binks quads with just an extra pair that's totally
This is so weird because
unneeded.
Porter bets. You're probably never getting any more money out of Porter here,
No.
especially if it's somebody like Harlen. Maybe you'd get paid in this spot, but
So this is funny. So Peter bumps it to 110, and it's so... It is a
he
6
is
setup.
gonna
Listen
call,
to him,
wow,
yeah.
So he just gets probably the most value you're going to get with quads in that spot. I don't think Porter calls many bets bigger than that.
No, and that's the thing is it was so small. Porter knew it. He's like, that's why he said 6 setup. He's like, but I'm going to give you $60 and make you show me quads.
Right,
Like,
yeah,
that's what I'm
that's
going to do.
The guy with the beard looks like he knows how to fight. I have no idea if Porter knows how to fight, but I don't want to find out.
I'll tell you what, man. I've seen pictures of him without the beard, and he looks so hardcore with that beard.
Oh, okay.
Right? I mean, without the beard, I'm like, oh, okay, that's a cool-looking guy, whatever. He's a normal dude. With that beard, I'm just like, feel like that beard would kick my ass before
Just
the
the
rest
beard.
of me got in
He
the
just
fight.
pulls the beard off, leaves it there, and then
my
walks
God.
away, continues to play while the beard just kicks your butt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
What did I see up here? A little bit says, if I subscribe, can I get one of those salads? Yeah, sure. Come on. You subscribe. You
We'll
come on
deliver
down.
it to you.
Come on down and
Probably
just
won't
ask
taste very
JFK
good.
Stones, and he'll hook you up.
Yeah. Do we have a sub? Oh, we do. All right. Yes. I imagine if you come to Stones and you sub, that might be good for a free salad from somebody.
Solid.
I think so. Yeah.
Poker Overkill with 3s. Do we get paid to commentate? I get paid in peanuts, actually, and Stones hoodies. I get one Stones hoodie per show, and then I try to sell it off on the black market.
I get paid in pride and I'm just, and napkins. I don't know why. I have to blow my nose a lot. I know. I just went with the first thing I saw, but it was
Ace Deuce 9. Paul connects with top pair. King of Hearts peels, no change there. A 3 would be sick. 'Cause
Yeah.
We get Poker Overkill a set and Harlen a wheel.
the chances of that. I mean, let's get it. Set up. Oh, nope, not happening. Paul's gonna win. Paul's chipping up a little bit, I think, since he's added to his stack. I want to play.
Paul's a solid player. You know, this is a fun table because there's some really all over the place players who do what they want. Then there's some tighter players. And then there's just Peter eating a salad, so he's going to get quads. And,
Right.
it's just good times.
Every once in a while, just turn around from the salad, get quads. I think the setup is here to have like a kind of a wild hand because you got players that like to play suited connectors, a very wide range of hands, and people who will put money in spots where normally you might not see people putting money in.
Yeah.
So the potential is there for huge hands. We've had a pretty big pot. I think Robert Y won roughly about 1,000 pot, like a 1K pot. Jeff
Service on
has
11.
9s under the gun. What does he got behind? Like 650? 650? What is happening? You know, it's not impossible. How come Jeff has a Stones Live hat, but I don't even have one? You know, sounds like a conversation you need to have.
That is vocal. That's good old vocal terror. That is Taylor, who generally gets in the booth and sings karaoke.
Oh, really?
Pretty much. For those of you just joining us, guys, you're watching a 5-5 no limit action hold'em game here. The green chips in front of everybody are $25 chips. The red chips are 5s, and the white chips are 100s. The blue chips are dollar chips, generally just used for tipping.
Mike B's found a handy. That salad looks good. Yeah. I'd hate people commentating on me eating. I don't think we're picking apart his eating.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about what you're eating.
I love
you're
it.
Free
Rob
to
Malt
eat it
with the
however
look at
you
this
like
photograph for Taylor. I love it.
You're seeing a lot of hands where 3 or 4 people see a flop. 3-bet from Paul. I like it. I'm excited about it. Harlen is probably going to give him... Oh, he already called in position.
All right, so battle of the red cards here.
Wow.
Ace, Queen, 9, top 2 pair here for Paul.
Like
Rami, yes, they do know that they're on a stream, and they sign up to play this game specifically, and there's always generally a pretty heavy wait list. We actually track cards, for those of you wondering, by using RFID chips. So there is little tiny chips inside each of the cards, and the player sets the cards on those little pads in front of them, and that feeds back to you.
Oh my god. Yes. Hello, Twitch chat. On point tonight. I have no comment on whether that's possible or not. And I know we're not going to find out on the stream, so. But yeah, this is a pretty popular game. Every Monday and Wednesday, cash at Stone Live's Poker. If you're not following already, just hit the heart button. It's at the top of the page there.
Absolutely. And then this Wednesday, we have another fresh lineup for you, coming with Veronica and Jake in the booth.
Veronica and Jake. Be sure to tune in for that one.
The original 2-pack.
All right, here we go. Some good-looking hands. 7-6 suited, Ace-7 suited. Garland's gonna get in there on the button with pocket 8s. Poker Overkill. Loves that kind of hand for sure. 10-7. So a lot of the 7s are gone. All right, 4-way action.
Man, they are having
the flop.
fun over here.
It's sometimes hard to stay focused when there's like a lot of cheering and random noises coming out of the
now
crowd.
Look at this flop for Poker Overkill. Flops a pair and a flush draw. Top pair for Porter.
Porter's got to like his spot too.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
this
and now
could
we got
get
diamonds and top
saucy.
pair for Porter. Oh, wow.
It would probably have been a lot more interesting if somebody had found a way to put some money in on the flop.
Let's get fun. Jay Brew, I'm pretty sure the rake's pretty standard, like $5, something like that.
$50. Are we just going to see a call here or a raise?
This could get gnarly. I mean, a pair and a flush draw is one of those hands that just sucks you in.
No, it just calls. He's keeping the pot small. Oh, wow.
Brick City for everybody. Porter's ace is going to be good.
So that pot's
Poker Overkill checks. And yep, Porter checks behind, not surprised. And he's going to take down a $315 pot.
Mr. Kelly.
BJ Johnson. Solid.
You're not the only person who thinks that, Deadly Amoeba. I don't necessarily think that, but I guess I could see it.
Oh, John Lovitz?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to go more balding, though, right? Is John Lovitz a little more bald? I think we got to go that way.
I thought you meant
No.
we need to find someone who's a little bit more bald than John Lovitz.
No.
Thanks, Deadly Amoeba. Well, I'm glad you're tuning in. I hope you enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And feel free to call me pretty much anything.
Nice.
Whatever.
Just call me. Just call me anything. Just call me. Yeah, guys, click that heart. Make sure you follow us. We're here with you every Monday and Wednesday for cash game action, and then for final tables of tournaments on the weekends.
Good river for Porter. Yeah, I mean, that hand could have gotten a little crazy, but it...
Yeah, what if one of them made, well, I guess it was 10-7 and ace-7, right?
Yeah.
So 7 could have been a few fireworks, too, especially if it completed the other person's flush.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it couldn't have if they had their opposing 7s.
I think potentially that could have gotten pretty big if there was like a flop bet or
Could have got real bloaty on the turn, actually.
yeah. But Poker Overkill just kept it chill.
He was poker over chill. That hand.
Poker Overchill, yeah, exactly. Definitely no overkill from that part.
We've had a hefty dosing of pocket pairs tonight. Pocket eights for Robert.
And then Harlen gets up in there.
Okay, we got 8 ace king and then Harlen right in the middle
This
with
sounds
3
like a
4.
classic Harlen spot, and he misses completely. Harrington on Holden. That's right. I mean, that's what's happening here. You're probably not going to get anywhere near the same level of insight.
He gets there. Poker overkill with the straight.
Yeah, there's no more money coming.
Oh, chop. Now, who's going to be the sick person to try to bluff like they got running spades?
Harlen. No.
Oh, I knew somebody was going to do it. Try to bluff. And this is the crappy part is even if you know it's likely a chop, calling for a chop just sucks because if it's not a chop.
It's 150 or 175? What do you bet? Oh, no, he bet 200. He bet the pot. Robert says, I call it. And Harlan still. Oh, yeah. I mean.
And that's the good old laugh like, am I going to be the sucker who calls here when it's not a chop?
Harlan really doesn't want to fold. All right, is Harlan folding here? What do you think?
With the bet and then Robert Y calling. Oh, I think he's going to find a call. I don't actually think he's
What if he
gonna
just
fold.
goes nuts and shoves?
That'd be disgusting. I don't think that's going to
It's never happening, but I mean.
Oh, he's going to let him
Gives
have
up his
it.
$60. I
There
mean,
it is,
he only loses $70 on his hand or $60.
Well, that's what he said. He's like, whatever, you guys take my couple
Yeah.
bucks. Like,
Sometimes it's not worth.
Yeah.
That's also why it might not be worth a call in Robert's spot for 200 when you're only losing, 60.
and that's the thing. And that's what he's talking about. He's like, what if you raised it?
Yeah, no,
That would have been sick. That would have been super sick if he raised.
Says the spade. Yeah, it would have been interesting to see. I mean, we're getting close there. I think the action's revving up a little bit. Getting some flops starting to cooperate in terms of giving some people some draw-heavy boards.
Yeah. Guys, you are watching Stones Live here from Stones Gambling Hall, right outside Sacramento, California.
Sacramento. Yes, Deadly Amoeba. It is on a 25-minute delay.
Yeah, there is a bit of a delay. We are live with you 100%, guys. We can see the chat. We're involved with you. The footage that we're all watching is about 20 minutes old. That way, if we hear him yell and scream and go crazy at the table, we know shit's about to hit the fan.
Exactly. We'll know. We'll be like, hey, guys, stay tuned. 20 minutes from now.
So Porter pops up to 20 to go here with 4-6 suited.
Jeff's reaching for chips. The button, 9-7 offsuit.
B. Johnsey in the house with all the inquisitive questions.
I like how your nickname has evolved over the last few hands.
I do eat
Hey,
alphabet
Justin
soup.
Mentele, can I call you?
I have had Cheerios.
It sounds like a
shipped to my
bit
house.
that he's used a couple times. Can I call you that?
There we go. Ace King 9 here on the flop.
Porter's gonna see bet?
Harlan's got a straight draw. Jeff does bink his 9. WL Duo. This stream we actually start playing about half hour before we start streaming. Actually about an hour before we start streaming, and then after the stream goes off here about 10 p.m. our time, these guys will just keep going. I mean, this is
this game goes all night.
Yeah, exactly. And so if you guys want, download our Stones Gambling Hall app. It's free on your Android and your iPhone. You can see the list for this game. You can remotely add yourself to a list for any of the other games that we're running. Right now we're running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tables outside of the stream. So the stream included, that's 12 different cash games going on. It's a typical Monday night, hanging out.
Yeah. This is a good night here at Stones. It's actually surprising to me how many tables in any poker room go off at like 2 a.m. But there's still, we got out of here last night at like 1:30.
Yeah.
There's still a few tables going. So if you're in the area and you're trying to play cash, any time of day.
Yeah, I like it. Nina Kita definitely likes your vibe, the red t-shirt.
Yeah.
Speaking of Steve Martin, I was lucky enough to sit down at a random cash game, and Steve Martin was playing up at Mont Bleu in Tahoe after his bluegrass band got done playing. Just a small game, and everybody was super cool, and he just shared a few stories.
I feel like I would like to meet Steve Martin.
It was rad. I mean, he's just what you
cool.
think, man. And it was cool because nobody was really all over him. Everybody was just there like, hey, you know what, he just wants to play some cards with the boys before he hops on the tour bus and leaves.
You know what's funny is I don't know how many people that are famous that I would be that excited about meeting. Even like Steve Martin. I think maybe if I ran into like Michael Jordan, I know Michael Jordan could care less if he ever met me.
Yeah.
Obviously, but like, and probably wouldn't talk. But yeah, it'd be interesting because I met Oral Hershiser. He plays poker a lot, and I thought that was pretty cool because I was, as a kid growing up watching him win the World Series. But
I want to go up to a really, really, really famous person and ask them if they want my autograph.
Right.
That's what I want to do. The old switcheroo.
Yeah, I found that's my approach. It's just like, you know what? You're just like a dude. Is Mike B going to take this down? He is. Nobody really gets a piece of that. Mike B's the only one. How much less could he care? How much less could Michael Jordan care? I don't think Michael Jordan would spend any amount of time worrying about me at all.
He couldn't care less.
Otis Thorpe. Oh, there you go. I remember him.
Yeah, for those of you who want to learn how to shuffle chips, just spend enough time at a poker table and it will naturally happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that simple, right? I mean,
It's happened so much that you're at the point, too, where people are actively trying to stop themselves from shuffling chips.
And I've seen people try to play the newbie, the beginner at a poker, and like try the whole angle, like, oh, it's my first time playing, and all you gotta do is catch them shuffling chips one time, and you're like, gotcha. Yeah. Definitely not your first time playing.
I don't really see any value in blatantly lying to people.
I don't either.
But if that's how you want to go, I guess.
I don't know. If you need to angle shoot that hard, you probably should just up your game instead.
The sound of the chips. Yeah, the sound of the chips. It's definitely a. It's like a thing. It's especially like when you walk into a poker room or any tournament room or anything, and it's just like. It's weird when you're there and it's like a break and you don't hear it, right? And then it starts up again.
The real problem here is when the wifey calls and you answer the phone, she knows what that sound in the background is too. That's what
you have to come up with an app or something that shields that sound. You're like, no, I'm at a drum festival, I swear. It's a Wizard of Oz cosplay thing where we're all just like marching into the castle. That's the drum beat.
Boom, look at this flop for Overkill here. Flops bottom two pair. Definitely outflops ace king here. Check, check. Jack on the turn, like pretty much the one card you don't want to see if you're poker Overkill here.
Check, check.
Super
again.
counterfeited.
Yeah, I mean, you still have two pair, but you're not loving it.
This board just sucks for you. It started out so solid and just got way worse, but it's still going to be the best.
Yeah, shuffling chips, exactly the carpal tunnel thing. I know some people who have actively tried to not shuffle chips for that reason. So, whatever floats your boat. I know that there's some people who do some crazy stuff with chips in terms of stacking, spinning, flipping, whatever.
For those of you who can't shuffle chips, now they've invented a little thing called a fidget spinner. Knock yourself out. All right, guys, so I know we have a few new viewers. We just did a dealer change. This is Paul, our resident guy. Actually, Paul there, who just sat down in the dealer box, is the guy who made that Stones hat that everybody loves there that Jeff is wearing in seat 2. But they are going to do a bomb pot, which means all the players throw in $20. They all go to see a flop, and then they all play from there.
Bomb pot time, yep. Hopefully, we get some action on this one. King Jack seems like a good hand to have in a bomb pot.
Not a bad start. Bomb pot.
Lorson, that looks more like fireball pot. Did I see aces? Oh no, ace-8. Alright, well King Jack no longer looks like a great hand for this.
Alright, so $200 in the pot here.
Does Jeff have
Looks
the
like
best hand right now?
the
King
best
9?
hand currently is King 9.
Thanks for the chat. Only tip, bomb pot is one of the greatest things in stream poker. Bomb pot's a bit wild. I think. I don't know how many people are going to continue. Did Mike B put a bet in here? Mike B bet $100. Oh, on the 8 on the turn there. Okay. Wow.
4 on the river. So this is going to give Mike B the check mark here.
Yeah, it's interesting
pair of
too
eights.
because it looked like a few people had better hands, but Mike B's
Jeff
aggression
had one,
took it
yeah.
down. Wow, it's going to be really hard for Mike to call, dude.
And Porter
Wow.
taking it down with absolute air, like a beast. Part good play, part beast mode beard. All Porter.
Yeah,
All
great job,
Porter.
Porter. Picks up a cool 300. They say it feels silly once they flip them.
You turn the nuts.
Yeah, I mean, bomb pot, so you really have no basis. I don't think there's any real right or wrong way to play a bomb pot. I suppose aggression is the best way to play a bomb pot because, you know, you have no idea. Which I find interesting because it's like Mike, was Porter betting the whole way or did Mike bet and then Porter stole the... I feel like Porter had to have probably bet the turn and then the river to get a fold.
And the funny thing about those bomb pots is that as much as you're scared of your hand, everybody else is also scared of your hand.
Right,
You know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you can really exploit that in those situations.
It's nuts.
Robert Y here with Ace King makes it 20 to go.
Paul gets a seemingly reasonable big blind defend hand. Jack 7 suited. Let's just say it could be worse. Jack 7 suited is... Oh, wow. Not only a defend, but a...
Rami, deliver. You're still watching this because it's like a car crash. You just can't look away. Oh, boom. Jack 7, top 2 for
Jack
Paul.
7 gets there.
Jack 7 suited versus Ace King. Danger, danger.
Only thing on Twitch Poker. You know what? That's true. But you know what? This is... I don't know. We're here every Monday and Wednesday.
Yeah, if you haven't,
Stones Live.
guys, click that heart, follow us, hang out, hop in the chat, say hello. In fact, for those of you who've been quiet in the chat, why don't you guys chime in where you're watching from? I know we have our boy here, our resident watcher out there in Sydney, Australia. But chime in. Where are you guys tuning in from?
Not much has changed in terms of the leaderboard. Harlan's been on top since we've started, and
Colin from the UK there.
Robert Y is right behind him.
Very cool. Guys, once again, the Win the Button tournament here coming up. It is exactly like it sounds. It is this upcoming Monday at noon. You win the pot, you win the button. It is great. Yep, we always wait for a couple of those answers here. Omaha, Nebraska.
That's great.
Lorson, I know just about that. My dad,
Ireland,
my dad
nice.
sold shelving for Lozier for quite some time. Actually, his
Guam.
entire life.
Nice.
So I've been to Omaha, Nebraska. It's cold, very cold.
I think I should be like.
Ireland and Guam. I would have guessed Nina Kita might be from like Russia.
Maybe. Ireland, hanging out. Guam. Shouts out to Guam.
Pulling people out of the boot. Yeah.
What if I don't want the button? If you don't want the button, don't win the hand, I guess. Or try to engineer it so the guy to your left wins the hand.
my God.
So that way you don't have to pay the
Asa,
blind.
dude. Danny Phantom in the house. What's going on? Chiming in from Maryland. Suited connectors out there in Lafayette. Very cool.
Harlan's in a tough spot. Turns a
now-
pair.
Yeah, and Mike B, monster straighted here. Gets even more straight.
You get the button or you get to choose who gets the button. No, you don't get to choose who gets the button. Whoever wins the hand gets the button. And so I was just kidding. Obviously, you can't really engineer it to the guy to your left to win the button all the time. But if you don't want the button, I guess the next best place to be would be
To the guy right to my left, yeah.
to the guy to the right.
Don't put it to your right.
Yeah, exactly.
Bad.
Lafayette, Indiana, Maryland.
So Mike applying the pressure to Harlan. Harlan here, wondering if he has Ace King. Obviously, we know it's not the case. And guys, we are gonna, if you, like I said, make sure you click that heart and follow us. We got some cool stuff coming up. We got some really, really great stream improvements, including massive shotgun mics here going straight at the table. So we're gonna get an upgrade on the table talk here pretty quick in the near future.
A table talk upgrade. I like it.
Harlan,
Tight fold.
Harlan's like, just because I have $4,500 in front of me doesn't mean I like giving away free hundreds.
Yeah, Harlen's been playing pretty disciplined today.
Yeah.
I would say, he won whatever he won early, and he's been sitting on that for a bit.
Yeah, because when we started the stream, Harlan had, I think, 4K flat. So even then, he's been up and down, but he's still up about 500 on top of that.
We're pretty close to where everybody has been sitting roughly about the same. I mean, Robert Y went up a bit. He took a big pot off Mike B. Mike B, not of the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
He's actually Mike D's cousin, Mike B. Just a reminder, yeah, sometimes, especially these guys, a lot of personalities at the table. I think the table talk would be fun to listen to at times. Most of the time, we would get to hear Harlan be disappointed when his draw gets there on the river after he folded on the turn or something.
I like
that.
when Harlan has to talk it out with people.
Yeah.
You know, when somebody makes a big river bet into him, he's just like, well, what do you got? Well, right now Harlan has trip queens, and Porter has a spade draw.
All right, and Harlan says we're going to keep going. We're going to put better mics at the table for table talk.
Good. Here, show him the rabbit. Show him the 6 of spades.
It's like Harlan raised there. And Porter fold. So Harlan 4.6, Robert Y 2.6. Peter won that one hand. I forget what he had.
With quads?
Quad sixes. Yeah, that's right.
And 6-8.
3 6s on the board and 6-8 in his hand. Turn to boat, rivered quads. Doesn't really get much easier than that to make all the money, or at least some of the money.
Yes, we do love our chat. Absolutely, guys. Thanks again, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some people in our chat get a little trolly, but most of our chat is actually pretty cool. We have a lot of fun, and yeah, you guys are a big piece of it. So thank you very much.
All right, Jeff's playing the 9-7 suited under the gun. Mike's gonna raise. So Jeff limps, Mike raises. Paul's gonna get in there with 3-4 suited. Whereas Harlan got Jack 10 on the button. Poker overkill 3-4 offsuit in a small or a big blind.
There's a little pot building right here. Once again, guys, the green chips are 25s, the whites are 100s, and the reds are 5s.
Poker overkill calls from the big blind.
We need him back.
Jeff calls as well.
Oh, disco for Robert Y.
And this could get really sick.
So he
Two
flops
players
the
at
wheel.
3-4.
Yeah, he flops the wheel. Paul and Poker Overkill, both with a pair and a straight draw. Jeff with 2 overs and a flush draw.
Yeah.
Game on.
This could be fun. And Porter, what does Porter have? Well, was that Porter with that? Maybe I saw that incorrectly. Robert bet 75. Paul calls. Jeff calls. Poker Overkill calls. Mike B is out there. Yeah, wow, this is crazy. The turn is going to bring it. Whoa, okay. 9 on the turn. I like it.
Oh, God, it's more blood here. It's more suck me in here for Jeff.
Jeff's checking. No, Jeff did not check. Jeff leads for 200? 175. Robert is never going to fold in this spot. Now it's just a matter of what does he do? Is he going to flat?
Robert's like, I got second nut, but see, now you have 2 different flush draws out there, and now you have Jeff hopping in being the aggressor.
So maybe you're not flatting here.
Could get a little weird. I would want to apply some pressure and make 3-6. If 3-6 was out there, make that shove right back into me right now.
Robert does raise.
Yep, he does raise.
As per Justin's advice.
Yeah. Yeah, 475, and he's putting the screws out here. He wants somebody, yeah. And this is where Jeff can get away.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Jeff only has, he's got like 250. It says 300.
Yeah,
He's got,
and this is where Jeff's going to justify it to relative pot size versus stack size.
yeah, I mean, you can see he still has outs. Obviously not.
They're talking about how many times they want to run it.
Many. Is that, okay, are you the kind of person that's going to agree how many times you're going to run it before he actually makes a call? Or do you discuss that after
good.
the money's in?
I would actually say make your move and then let's talk about it.
Yeah. I think that's a totally fair point. You know? I think if you're going to be a stickler, like, I feel like if I tell you how many times I'm willing to run it, that could influence what you decide.
All right, so he is all in. I don't know if they're gonna
3 times.
Three
looks
times.
like. The dealer is on point right there, giving it to us. All right, Robert wins 1.
King no good there. He is going to need a spade, and spade only.
Yeah, you can't fold once you bet that.
Brick City
Robert wins
needs
2.
a spade. Can he get 1? Can he get a 3rd rebate back?
Nope.
Wow, there is like no spades left in the deck for him to get. They ran it 3 times. He whiffs all 3
Well,
boards.
he said they only had 5 left because the other ones were all dead.
Yeah.
according to this.
Wow.
So that's wow.
Wow, you run it 3
Fortunate for
times.
Jeff.
Not only could you not river him, you couldn't river him 3 times.
Yeah.
We gave you 3 chances.
I mean, if you're gonna run it 3 times, you gotta. You feel worse about losing 3 times than you do once, I think.
Dang.
Wow. Yeah, that was unfortunate for Jeff. Well, you say bad call. I think he bet enough on that turn.
He was committed.
Maybe he was like trying to put himself in a spot where he was never going to fold anyway. I mean, it would have.
Guys, I can guarantee you, if you guys have seen Jeff S play in the past, if he wasn't short stacked in the way that he was, if he had bigger chips, he would have folded that raise all day long. He's not. But at that point, he was just hitting that, the oh screw it button. We've all hit it. Bink. Just like, oh, whatever, we're done.
Poker Bro Eric says Sean Drake would have got there on all 3 rivers.
Fact.
Feel worse losing 3 times than once. Did Julie just say? Yeah, I mean, I guess that just because it's obvious doesn't mean it's not true.
Well, and the funny thing is especially we have such a wide spectrum of players that watch this show. For people that watch the show that don't even really know about poker, that's why sometimes we like to explain certain things, like what's going on, what the bomb pots are, what running it more than once, especially if you're new to poker. So Garland here with kings 3-betting the 65, super coordinated flop there. Poker overkill, binks a pair of it. Robert Y open-ended.
Yeah, it looks like Jeff decided he was done for the night. Poker Overkill took his seat. We're going to get a new player in seat 1 at some point. Not surprised to see Poker Overkill get in there. 5, 8.
Here comes a diamond for fun. I knew it. How did I know it? And that's such a scare card for Garland. Garland hates life when the ace peels. Any sort of ace X, ace 6, ace 7, ace 8, ace 5, ace 9 would have been in there. And the diamonds get there too, just for fun.
Wow, Poker Overkill. Good seat change. Oh, wow. And he gets the rest of Garland's chips there.
He said, is that a stone shirt, or did you just somehow find a shirt that matches the felt?
It's an Iron Man. It's
an Iron Man.
I guess it could be stones. This is actually JFK Stones.
Approved.
Yeah.
Oh, right there. He's Iron Man?
A portrait.
Oh, yeah. Don't give him too much credit, just because it's his birthday.
Is he a Marvel guy or a DC? Not sure.
Once again, you guys are watching a 5-5 no limit game here. Our big dog here at the table is Harlen, 4,500.
Slams it. He mad. Yeah. I imagine he's a little bit upset. When you get a big hand like kings, you never like losing, especially in cash. Looks like Garland's not leaving though. He's gonna rebuy.
He would have rather that he just had an ace and like bink the ace on the turn than actually going run around or flush.
Yeah.
Against him.
You know what's funny is I'm just now getting the double meaning of the Kings losing in Sacramento.
The Kings lose in Sacramento is a very big ongoing
It shows you
joke
how
in the
little
chat.
I care about basketball.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, that has levels to it, and I just saw those levels, so that's pretty funny. Oh man.
So Garland here switching up his pairs for a bit of a downgrade down to 3s. Paul puts in a raise. Garland does make the call. Poker Overkill is going to come along.
Might be.
If I'm sitting at this table right now with everybody's relative stack size, everybody's got at least, I think the small stack now is 12 or 1,300. I'm not sitting down with less than $1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, I need chips to play here, which is kind of solid. A 5-5 game, you can't sit down with less than $1,000. Which started out, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, at the beginning of the night as the max buy-in, and now, in my opinion, it's the minimum buy-in.
Yeah.
Which that in itself is interesting.
What is technically the minimum?
Yeah.
200?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you could buy in for 200.
Yeah. That
Although
sounds like suicide.
I would just take $200 and light it on fire with a sparkler before.
You might
I
as well
bought
just
this
go
game.
over to the blackjack table or something for 200.
Chris CO22, what's up, buddy? We are Stone's Gambling Hall, located right outside Sacramento, California, and we are located right off Highway 80. If you have one near you and you're in the United States, it's the same one. Hop on it, drive to us.
Come on down. Have a salad. Play some 5-5.
I highly encourage players in the chat, who are regulars or poker players or whatever, that basically say, oh yeah, these guys are morons, I could crush this game. I encourage you to come down and crush this game. Especially if you're from out of town and you want to make a special appearance here and get on the stream, I'll punch it in right here in the chat. Contact JFK Stones right there. You can text or call that number, and we will get you on the stream. A little bit asked why the dealer has a headset on. That is so they can communicate with our production team. There's actually a team of 3 or 4 people behind us tracking the action, the bets, the cameras, the whole 9 yards, just so we can put on a good show for you. He will announce the bets. He can also communicate with them if a player hasn't put their cards on the reader, so we can make sure that we know what everybody has.
Player check. Player check. Okay. 60.
I'm from out of town. Would like to get in the game eventually. For sure. There's always a seat, I think. I mean, there's a seat right now. How fast can you get here?
All right, Nina Kita. See what we can do.
Timed rake or something? I don't think it's timed rake.
No. It's per hand, and I think it's a typical $5 rake, something like that. Yeah, definitely. Normally there's a wait list, sometimes up to several weeks long to get in our live stream games. But if you're going to be in town, like we had a guy come in from Malaysia, obviously we're going to get him in the game, you know what I mean? So we actually had a group of 2 or 3 guys drive up recently from the LA area to hop in the game. So we always definitely try to get you in there when we can.
Hashtag would play. I like it.
You can call me Bon Bon. The cool thing about this game is that this is an achievable playable limit for a lot of players that have been playing the game for a while. It's like I'd like to see this because this is an accurate representation of playing at one of your local establishments as opposed to I'm watching Poker After Dark and they're playing for several $100,000. I don't have that in my bankroll.
Right, exactly.
So this is a little bit more real world, if you will.
Interesting thing here. Mike B makes a flush on the river, shoves all in for 1,000, which is like 2x pot, which is exactly what he did in the previous spot where he was bluffing.
Yeah.
Although the river was brick, this is not a brick river.
And this is what Paul's replaying in his hand. He remembers the all-in shove when Robert Y called Mike earlier and got all his chips, and now, like you said, he's doing the exact same thing. And that could possibly induce a call from Paul, but I think Paul's going to get away from it.
Ace-10. I mean,
because even if he's doing this with some weird, like, ace, I mean, God, what if he's, heaven forbid, he's doing this with, like, ace-jack, ace-king, and you're still beat, you know? But look at the action. Mike B fired every street. This will be interesting. And it's so sick that Mike B fired the flop and fired the turn, and then somehow went runner diamond.
I don't necessarily love the flop bet, but the turn bet, you got a lot of cards. It feels like a comfortable turn to put a bet in. I think. I mean, show the bluff, show the bluff. No.
So Chris C 022 says, I actually agree this is good to watch. Amazing how many leaks and mistakes you can find and put into your study. Not only do I totally agree with that statement, but on the regular, there is a lot of players who will play on this stream and then go back and watch themselves play the next day just to do that exact same thing. Look for leaks, look for ways to tighten up their game. And I mean, you'd be surprised, man. You think you play one way, you think you have a certain table image, and you think you're always making the right move or whatever, and then all of a sudden you watch the stream that you're on, and you're like, wow, I definitely need to adjust my game or the way of thinking one way or another, you know?
Garland is crushing. Garland was unfortunate that he ran into flush with his kings.
Yep. And the poker boss, like we were talking about there, a big part of the Poker After Dark crew out there says, as people always tell me, we live in Fantasyland at Aria. I mean, it's true. I mean, I went there during the series, and there's guys that just go and hop in a quick, 50K sit and go.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's just do a couple 2-table 50K sit and goes. I'm like, really? Like 50K buy-in sit and goes? Like, all right.
There's a lot of money that goes to art.
Oh
for
yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Eric Seidel's over there just getting a scalp massage for like 6 hours. I'm like, dude, is this real life? What's going on? Chris, I grind a little bit of everything, mostly like lower stuff. The 1-3 here is really, really solid since it's a max cap, it's a max table match game. But you know, 1-3, 2-5, something like that.
How's
Nothing too
pizza
crazy.
Sounds? I think the pizza's pretty good.
It's amazing, actually.
I've had the margarita and the spicy sausage, Italian sausage. Those
Stick
are
with
both
that
pretty
chicken
solid.
luau pizza. It's
I haven't had
amazing.
that. I'll try that. The food in general is really good. So if you're out here, even if you can't come on a stream night, come check it out. Play some poker in a nice, clean room with some good food, good beer.
Yeah.
Got tons of beers on tap. I mean, it's like a full bar on the
Yeah.
other side, so you can get a lot of whatever you like. Looks like a new player, Marty Juana.
Marty Juana.
Marty Juana.
I love. Oh, you know what? I played with this guy the other day. Yes, I'm so glad he's here.
Marty's in for 2K
I played-
too. Hops right in.
I played with Marty the other day, and his name fits him very well. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. This will be fun.
Look at, he's doing his best Talal Shakurchi impression.
I looked at that name and I looked at the guy. I'm like, I did play with this guy the other day. Yeah, we had that was a solid cash game we were in. I'm not surprised to see him coming in swinging for a couple grand right off the bat.
Yeah, pineapple on pizza. Huh? I'm gonna go with sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Table Max, amazing concept. Used to grind for a living.
And you know, yeah, when you have a 200 max buy at these capped limits, like 1-2, it really cripples what you're allowed to do because, I mean, if you get to these tables where you have a guy who's on the, the tail end of a long
been there
session,
for a long time.
yeah, I mean, you're throwing pebbles at mountains and it really sucks. Not to mention the fact that I think you can all vouch for this, that the gameplay at the 1-2 level is so much different than the gameplay at a level like this. Here, you can actually get away with making moves and putting somebody to a decision for their stack, whereas in a 1-2 game, you just can't do it. Somebody, you go all in, you try to make a bluff, and the guy's like, whatever, I got 150, I call. You know, I mean, it's just, you just can't do it. It's a very, very different game. So I feel for you, like Chris is saying here, when he depleted his bankroll and he had to go back down to the smaller stakes, it's such a more tough climb from, to get back in there because, I mean, it's so nitty grindy at the 1-2 level where you can get a lot more bang for your buck at the higher level, but you have to be able to have the bankroll that can support the swing.
Yeah, I think one of the big things about sitting down here is like Garland comes back in for 300. He's by far the smallest stack.
Yeah.
He's already down to like 2. If you call one raise, that's like 1/8 of your stack. Right?
Yeah,
And then you're just like suddenly left in this weird spot where you're.
And most of almost every time you ever find a game like that, it's really only because the casino just wants you, they just want to increase the rate. Right?
Yeah.
That's all it is.
What's interesting too is like say Garland had more than like 400 when he had kings.
Yeah.
Maybe he wins that hand and he's able to price out the flush draw. But when you don't have that many chips and everyone else has got 2K plus, you're just going to be up against it.
So guys, every game here, 1-3 and higher at Stones is all table max, which is awesome. So even the 1-3 game here plays more like a 2-5. There's been 1-3 games here where everybody's got a couple thousand in front of them pretty regularly, actually. So those games get real juicy real quick, and that's a big part. I think it's really nice for players who aren't quite maybe yet comfortable jumping to a limit like 2-5 or 5-5. The 1-3 game here is just juicy enough to where it has a lot of those elements to those bigger games because of that table matching, and it's real solid. I mean, the 1-3 game, I feel handicapped when I play the 1-3 at a different casino that does have the max cap buy, and because I'm so used to playing here where I'm like, cool, what does everybody have? I'll take that, I'll buy in for that amount, whatever.
Yeah.
And over there, I just feel like I'm handcuffed.
There you go, here you are.
Maybe you have actually been handcuffed.
I was, but they were furry, and
okay.
she was a lot of fun.
I think, and the 1-3, I noticed the same thing. This today is actually played a little bit more relaxed than I think previous ones.
Yeah.
Who knows? We're heading
still,
into the
I love
last
Mike
hour
B.
here.
I love
so
Mike B.
Definitely
Just-
some crazy, or not crazy,
But just Mike B has
action players.
no fear, 4-6 suited, makes it 55 to go.
Yeah, Harlen, ace-jack. It doesn't feel like a fold. Apparently, he's like,
Part 3 of the Reno story.
F it. I don't want to play ace-jack out of position to Mike B. Marty Adrona folds as well.
All right, so taking a look here, it looks like Garland's still definitely on the short stack. So if I'm Garland here at 255, I mean, I'm not really waiting to pick my spot. I'd rather, at a game like this, these stakes, these players, these chip stacks, I'd rather add on.
Yeah, like if you have another 300 in your pocket that you're planning on playing anyway, you might as well.
255 is just, I'm just shooting pea shooters at this point.
When you pick up aces in a perfect spot, and you can only make $300, and the biggest stack is 4,000. You know,
yeah.
I mean, this is part of the reason why I don't really like playing cash, because if I'm playing like 5-5 PLO, I'll buy in for like 500. But if I sat down at a table like that, I'm still only going to buy in for 500.
Right, yeah.
Like, and maybe PLO is a slightly different game in terms of your ability to play shorter, because people can't just shove all in. You have to actually bet what's in the pot. But yeah, I think.
Yeah, just call me Fufu. Absolutely. When we talk about 1, 2, 2, 5, 5, 5. Yeah, that's the small blind and big blind. Absolutely. So generally, those games play incrementally bigger and have incrementally bigger buy-in ranges that you can do for minimums and maximums. Every casino is a little different, but for the most part, you know, obviously as the blinds increase, they give you a bigger maximum that you can buy in for.
Huge stacks with small blinds means you can just wait around forever for aces. Yeah, I mean, theoretically you can do that. But part of cash and the reason why I think this table it's interesting is a lot of like playable hands like 10-9, like suited connector hands. You can play those. You have more chips. You can see some flops and it's we're speaking of aces, and I think Mike B.
Did we just summon aces
in the big blind?
Did that just happen?
So we'll see. Mike B has been pretty aggressive with hands that aren't aces.
RexCC, what's going on, buddy? We are about 150 feet from the table, but we are live with you guys. The table itself is on a 20-minute delay. So anything we see now and yell and scream about already happened 20 minutes ago for them.
What a spot, too. Harlen makes it 40, Overkill calls, and Mike B is going to pop it to 200.
And it's great because Mike B's, I mean, now this isn't going to get anywhere.
He's not going to get anything.
Yeah, but Mike B's been playing so kind of raise heavy aggressive with his hands that if these guys had anything...
He limp under the gun?
And that's fishy. I don't
limp raising under the gun.
The limp raise under the gun. So this is funny. This is actually what Jake said. He said the whole limp into first position and raise after the fact is so like 2004, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Which is where, I mean, at this point, he's like, I'd rather just open raise. It's because of reasons just like that. When you raise, when you just limp under the gun and then you get a raise and you just come over this massive 3-bet, it's like turning your hand face out. You're like, okay, great. We know you have queens, kings, or aces. Yeah. Now, if you want to use that image to your advantage and totally just do that with air, great. Bold strategy, because you can run into aces or kings.
True.
But, you know, that's just one of those things.
Yeah, there's a lot of times if you're talking about winning the pot or actually winning money, right? Whereas if you're always going to limp raise with aces under the gun, you probably are going to kill a lot of the value you would have otherwise, I think.
Mm-hmm. And it's also one of those things too where you know, I always reference Jake in scenarios like this where he absolutely can't stand when people limp with big pairs like aces or kings. I'm okay if you want to get splashy and mix it up by doing that. The only disclaimer I have, the fine print at the bottom of the page, folks, is if you are going to just call and really weak play a big hand like aces or kings, you're going to get in a lot of trash hands and a wide range of hands, so you have to be willing to let that go and fold it very easily. Yeah. You can't play it super soft and weak and then all of a sudden get attached to it and want to call everybody's all in.
Which sometimes will happen.
Yeah, so you really, I mean, if you're going to play it that way, you're either flopping a set and a monster or not, but don't get attached to it like on the turn when you let everybody in with crap on the flop.
I imagine if you Google some of the terms or like a Wikipedia page, but if you have specific questions about what certain things mean, we can definitely clear that up. Yeah, I mean, we're at basically, if it's like a rectangle, we're at one corner and they're at the other corner. It's not a huge rectangle, but it's big enough where they can't hear us. We're in a booth. We're sheltered from the world.
Yeah, just call me Fufu nailed it. Says, oh, there we go. Big blind, small blind. You know, yeah, let's, I'm sure we'll find a good site here with some poker terms and we'll put it in there for you. Just call me Fufu says, the amount of tech equipment that's probably set up there is taking up a lot of space. Absolutely. The booth behind us has 3 guys in there, and essentially there is a wide screen with all the cameras. There's camera switching equipment. There's like 6 other monitors mounted on the wall, a whole audio video server, like 4 laptops, touchscreens, action trackers. It's a little intense back there. It's power strips on power strips on power strips. It's the epitome of a fire hazard. I'm just kidding. Insurance company, don't listen.
Yeah, we're the fire marshal. So Yo-Yo, the blinds are just like they go around the table in a circle where players have to put in money without seeing their hand first in order to get some money in the pot.
Yo-Yo, right there in the chat, we just posted that link for you, wsop.com/poker terms, and that's going to hook you up.
I just call her. Yeah, but he reads the books and watches more videos. Well, the cool part is you can play online, or you can come play like low stakes cash, depending on what your, your bankroll situation is. But I mean, here, what is that? The 1-2, the min buy-ins, what, like 60 or something?
Yeah, and here's the deal. I always tell people, they say, "Oh, I'm looking to learn." This is real easy, guys, okay? And this is what I compare it to. You can get the same degree, essentially, from your local junior college as you can from going to Harvard or Yale or anything like that. Okay, but it's going to be much more expensive. So if you hop into poker and start playing these bigger limits, you're going to learn the same lessons and mistakes and situations for much more money. So don't do that. Start at the super small stakes. Figure out what happens when there's 2 pair on the board. Figure out when there's a chop pot. These are expensive lessons that you can learn for much cheaper. Play some home games with some friends, some 25 cent, 50 cent.
Pretty good flop for poker overkill. Garland, it's not really his day. Did he bet? Oh, wow. He bet and he gets there.
Disco for Garland.
That's got to feel pretty good. He bets half his stack almost. He doesn't have very much left. I don't think he's going to get, at this rate, whatever he bets on the river is going to get called.
Yeah, poker. Oh, wow. Oh, God. How? Just what happened?
No, he's still winning.
No, I know. Just in general.
Oh, wow. He's not loving it. I feel like at that point, checking is irrelevant. You only have 150 behind.
This is one of those things that, figure out like what it means when there's 2 paired board, but you still have a pair, but you also have ace high, and it's just like you got to figure these things out. And the fact of the matter is when somebody actually has a straight on a 2 paired board, why more often than not that's no good, and it's really easy for somebody to have a full house. Learn these lessons cheap.
Yeah, true. I like it. Yo-Yo says I'm going to Harvard to bet 600. I feel like that might not be the place to start either.
I think that you misunderstood my directions here. Instructions unclear. Went to Harvard, bet 600. Wait, that's
right.
Not what I meant.
Justin Kelly poker coaching at Justin Kelly Harvard.com.
At don'tdothis.com.
Pokerharvard.edu.
Just go to the school of Harlen Run Good.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a much better school. It's a way better institution.
All right, Porter's going to get in there with the Jack-9 suited. I really want to see a Jack on the flop here. And maybe like some combination of 2. Oh, there's a heart.
I see. Oh!
Okay, nothing.
King Jack, so straight draw now for Harlen if a 10 peels off. And Robert wakes up with mid-pair queen, and the Harlen Run Good continues.
You called the Harlen Run Good.
Straight monster for Harlen here.
Straight out of...
So, for instance, Yo-Yo here, Harlen has the 10 through ace straight. It's way good. Everybody else is just looking to chop.
I don't
Even Larson's like, wow. Harlen.
Justin Kelly said, put 600 on red at Harvard. So wherever the roulette game is at Harvard.
Wherever.
Yeah, it's good that you're tuning in, asking questions. I think a lot of people in the chat would be supportive and also try to coax you into playing their home game for all your money.
Yeah.
But that's what's beautiful about poker is there's some guys that are going to try to help you and some guys who are going to try to not help you.
It's true. So guys, once again, I know we have a lot of regulars here at this point, but the white chips are $100 chips, the green chips are 25s, and the red chips are $5 chips.
It's quite fun. Harlen is the big winner.
Are sunglasses necessary? Do I have to wear a hoodie? Do I have to have a beard? Do I need a hat?
You know, the cool part about poker is you can design your own wardrobe.
Yeah.
You can go crazy. I mean,
hell, look at the final table of the World Series this year. You got the one guy with the jacket
John
made of,
with
9
the
different jackets.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do pretty much whatever you want. I've seen a guy that plays with a stuffed crocodile that sits in his pocket, which is a little weird, but it seems weird. But like I said, you can design your own wardrobe, do whatever you want. As long as you're wearing clothes, you should be allowed to play in most poker rooms.
Very true. Battle of the pocket pairs here, the poker pairs. Oh, wow. Sixes, threes, and eights. Harlen wakes up with ace-king.
And he makes it 305. He doesn't even want to mess around. Robert Wyatt. What? It seems a bit steep.
Harlen 3-bets to a solid 305. What a large gross 3-bet here.
I don't think Robert's going to continue. Like, he kind of wants to, but he's also like, Harlen has so many chips here.
But he's basically just set hunting if he does, because he's got to assume with a raise that size that he's behind.
Yeah.
I mean, he's best case scenario where he's coin flipping right now.
Right,
Harlen's never doing that.
But you don't really, you're not calling. You don't feel great about raising. Harlen has a ton of chips. He's the only guy at the table that has more than you. So you can actually go broke to Harlen.
Yeah, it's funny. Watching high stakes poker, it's the only time I can go by. And first off, it's the only time that I can justify, and I use this term loosely, I'm okay with a guy wearing a fanny pack at the table because I know he's got like an extra $100K in cash in it. So I'm going to allow that.
You're okay with it? You'll allow it?
Yeah, I'll allow it. Well,
Apparently Justin
I'll
is
take
the
the fanny
fashion
pack
police.
if it's filled up with that money. But it's the only time where you can go by and you can see a guy that has 20, 30K in cash in front of him on the table, and he's got holes in his socks, and they look like they haven't been shaved. And I'm just like, this is amazing. Is this real life? What's going on?
The style of some people is very relaxed, comfortable clothes.
Which is fine. I don't care. Dress how you dress. Just please take a shower because I don't want to smell you.
Socialist beret, sunglasses.
Paul here with ace king, popping to 30.
Wearing a full animal mask head, like a lion or a tiger. Oh, I think you're allowed to wear certain things, but I don't think you're allowed to cover your whole face.
Yeah,
that's an actual rule. But
and if anything, that's just more for casino security.
Yeah.
You go, I'm just here to play poker, and I'm robbing the joint.
Paul flops a nut flush draw here.
Mike B binks a pair. Poker Overkill has a straight draw.
I think Mike B is probably. I mean, this seems like so far tonight these are the kind of flops that Mike B would bet, where he has a piece of it. He may continue. I guess he's going to continue. He calls the 80 with bottom pair.
Now, no change there. Paul still with a pretty solid hand right here, but Mike B technically in the lead.
It's going to be really hard for Mike to call another bet, I think. 225 into the 285 pot, so pretty big bet. I think Mike B is going to let it go.
And yeah, guys, if you can see there in the chat, Stones Life Poker did post a link to our archives there. We push all of our episodes on YouTube, so you can go back and watch everything all the way to the beginning. And you can see the streams come a long way. We've done some solid upgrades over time.
I like hygiene is key.
Oh, this is funny. Pyroshin brings up a great story. I remember that. About Phil Locke going in full old man makeup, like stage quality, like they do on Jackass.
Part of the reason why the rule exists, I think.
And never saying his name, they don't let that go anymore. You need to identify yourself. Bob Sacamano, they do, I think, generally watch their streams. I don't think they go right home and watch them because these guys will continue playing.
They keep going after the stream.
Yeah.
Although I have seen like 3 or 4 guys will come. It's funny to see what happens because like 3 guys will sit out and then it'll be a couple other regulars that maybe were playing a different game for the night, hopping in and catching the late crowd.
In fact, I'm going to pull up the Stones Live app right now, or the Stones Gambling app, because I bet there's a pretty solid list for this game.
Marty has only been sitting at the table for about 20 minutes at this point, I think, and
so Yo-Yo, you're not losing money by not playing necessarily. Obviously, there is a $5 rake in these hands, and if you'll have to pay your blinds, so you'll lose money in that regard. But you'll lose, but it's a give and take. You'll lose much less money not playing garbage than actually playing hands all the time.
True. A lot of times folding will be the better choice. One of the interesting things, or it's not, I don't know how interesting it really is, but like if you're gonna have like a winning poker session, typically you're gonna win like 4 hands, right? Like maybe you'll have, like Robert Y is up about 1,000, pretty much only from like 1 big hand.
So guys, here's the Stones Live app. I can see what tables are running. It's the Stones Gambling Hall app, sorry. I can see what tables are running here, and I can tell you right now, for this 5-5 game, there is 16 people on the waiting list.
Yeah.
And so this game will run all night. It will run into breakfast time. So come on down, get on the list now. Then you can actually I'll sign up for that. Then you can hop on. Then you can just then it's just time to get on the omelet list. You know.
Oh wow! So this is pretty exciting because it's Rack Attack time. Did they change dealers too?
Wow. Okay, guys, this is huge case. So here's the deal. I'm gonna explain this real quick. They do a promo we call a Rack Attack, where they pick a random table and they throw down a few $100s on the table.
Looks like
now,
200.
So in this particular case, because it's a higher limit game, they throw down $200 in the pot. Plus, it's also a bomb pot, which means that let's listen to him.
I know you want to play it. You let him or no. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't like the in and out. Just because it's favorable for you. And you have the platform.
Okay, so what they're doing, guys, is the Rack Attack's there. They said $200 in the middle. That's just free money put in there from the house. On top of that, each player is going to throw in $20, and then they're all going to go to a flop. So there's already going to be almost a $400 pot. Here's what, 360, I guess?
Yeah, 360.
Yeah, this is how the storm started last night.
And guys, I'm gonna post right in here. I'm gonna post right in the chat here. This is what happened the last time this perfect storm happened. Harlen scoops a $13,000 pot.
Harlen was just talking about it too. So what does Harlen have? 5 deuce. Seems like a perfect hand to flop a straight with. Oh, he gets
Harlen
a piece.
binks a piece of it.
Although, let's see.
And so does Mike B. has the same hand.
7-6.
Rob Y flopping the stone cold nuts.
And then, wow, what did
And is that Peter just bets right out? What is Peter? Peter has Peter has top pair. This is gonna go.
I think you flat here.
If you're Robert, you have to flat here. There's no point in raising. There's no other sort of draws.
Yeah, I wonder.
Did you see that half smile grin on Robert's face? Like, I can't believe I flopped the world right here.
And then you're super stoked when somebody bets 100 or 225. That's 225 into you. And you have the nuts. You got to feel really safe with this.
Oh, you got to feel so good.
I don't think you're getting any other action though. So I mean that's good. Like you're calling because you want to see
what if a 3 banks right here? What if a 3 banks or another 8?
Maybe like a 5. Or yeah, something like that. Pairing the board. This could get really neat.
Now, see, Peter is worried about kicker issues, right? Because he obviously says, even if Robert's only calling me with an 8, he's got to have me beat.
I think you check back here.
He did. So,
no, I mean,
if you're Robert,
wait,
yeah.
Like if you're trying to get max. Okay, I'm saying that. No, if you have, I would check back here.
Well, the pot's already 650. You also don't want a double board pair. Peter has something, so you want to try to get value from that. Peter would have never fired out
Peter doesn't
on
strike
the flop.
me as like a super aggro player. I don't think Peter is really going to check raise you here in too many spots.
I know, but I think that Peter, obviously, the way he fired on the flop, he has a piece of it, and so Robert's going to go for value and try to get more here, knowing that Peter has a piece.
So he bets 4 into like 700, right?
Yeah.
Like more than
and
half the pot.
Again, it's plausible. Because the range is anywhere, it's very plausible for Robert to have a 4 in this situation. It's even more likely that he could have 8 anything, 8-6, 8-7, all crushes Peter.
I guess I'm
Any 8
thinking
with a
like,
straight draw, it all crushes Peter.
If you're Robert, does Peter only ever bet a pair into like 5 people on a bomb pot?
On a bomb
for
pot?
$200?
Yeah.
Peter doesn't.
I mean, because bomb pots, people get weird. People do weird things on bomb pots, especially when you combine it with a Rack Attack. Here, watch. Is Robert gonna show? Yeah, he is. 6-7, ship it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess Robert's perfectly content winning that money, the pot right there too, after a $200 bet. But I think if you check there, maybe Peter fires not 200, but maybe throws out another bet.
So check that now. Solid pot takedown for Robert Y there. So he's up at 3.6K. Harlen at 4.7K. Definitely our 2 big dogs right now.
The stars are aligned for the Harlen versus Robert White. Although I don't think
God.
Robert's going to go out of his way to play a pot with Harlen.
No. And Robert's not the type to slouch off chips either. Like
Right,
he's not just going to give Harlen money.
I have never played the five. Well, I've played 5-5 Hold'em here once.
Bob, we play this game here. We have it on the stream probably at least once a week.
I think it's the standard Monday game,
Yeah.
pretty much. And then often it's the Wednesday game too, but sometimes Wednesday is lower stakes. Yeah, I don't think he's ever going to call there with 8-3.
No button bounty tonight. I know that was something that they were doing. What were we doing the button bounty on? They were doing that on the live
5-10 game,
the
I think,
vlogger
maybe?
game. I know they were doing it on that.
Yeah.
No button bounty tonight. Yo-Yo keeps trying to figure it out. Instructions unclear. I went to Harvard. I had a poker game. I only ate a salad. I like it. I like
At
this
least
Yo-Yo
you're
character.
having a healthy time.
I like this.
It could have gone a lot worse if you grabbed $600 and go to Harvard.
Normally I'm like instructions unclear, fork stuck in toaster. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you get no more money out of anybody in that particular spot.
So Harlen here raises to 25 with 7-9. Exactly. Yeah, that was a vloggers game thing. You know, we give
making a comeback.
Yeah, we give a lot of freedom, Pyro. We give a lot of freedom to the players who are playing to do their own thing. Obviously, for instance, the bomb pod thing that you just saw, that's just all the players agreeing to do that. That's not anything specific to Stones. I think Harlen was the one who started that. You know, so we give a lot of freedom to the players. Obviously, on the stream, we let them run it. You saw earlier, we let them run it, 1 to 3 times, I think.
Yep.
And so yeah, so we give players a lot of freedom in that regard.
Garland seems to be chipping up a little bit. Got 425 now. I think he's made a little bit of his money back.
He's ready for that, what I call Operation CDU, complimentary double up.
Yeah.
If anybody would hook me
He
up.
probably wouldn't have minded flopping a straight on the bomb pot rack attack.
How good does that feel when you just flop the Stone Cold Monster and there's already like 400 out there,
Yeah.
and then you immediately have the guy to your right firing 200 some shades in front of you. You're like, is this real life?
And there's 3 or 4 people behind you. You're just like, oh my gosh, please, right?
Yeah. David was in that game because I think we had an extra seat, and so we started a list. He was in the vlogger game there in seat 1. We had an extra. Yeah, we had an extra.
I think
seat.
when your criteria for a game is limited to a certain kind of job, maybe you fill the spot as opposed to leave it empty.
Oh, absolutely.
Just because you can't find enough bloggers.
Well, let's face it. I mean, everybody here being a poker player, at the end of the day, I'd rather have a player in the seat than not in the seat.
Right. Exactly.
I mean,
all the vloggers are
unless
pretty
it's a
excited.
tournament,
Yeah,
and then you can just kick all those players away.
Depends on who the player is, also.
Fun final table.
This could get interesting because Garland only has so much behind 360.
And this is what we were talking about. This almost entices Porter to maybe even get hyper aggro here and put in.
Oh, wow. Porter folds. So it's like a spot.
But it's weird because that's why he folded, because he knew that basically Garland was pretty much ready to get in the rest of his chips.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with the fold. For me, I'd rather just flat call,
and
see a
fold
flop.
the flop?
Yeah, and if I'm either gonna nail it and call you're all in, or I'm gonna brick it and insta fold. So.
Yeah. No, I don't think he's tilted. It's one spot where the advantage plays to him because he can maybe get an aggressive 4-bet trying to play for all the chips, knowing that you can only lose so much.
Yeah.
So that's where buying in for a short stack might help him. But in this case, it hurt him a little bit because if he's deeper, maybe Porter takes a shot.
Of
right?
course, and it's weird. It's almost like reverse implied what happened type stuff.
Yeah. Which I think is an interesting fold by Porter, or a good fold by Porter, because sometimes you just don't want to play that spot. Right? Maybe your hand is good, maybe you even have the best hand, or at least a fighting chance of winning, but sometimes you just don't really want to play that spot. Here, Marty gets 5s. I think this is going to be the first hand, or one of the first hands Marty has played since he sat down. And
997. Harlen does, and of course it's 5s. I'm not surprised. Yeah. Harlen does bink his 7 here.
Does Marty peel 1? I don't. Probably not loving it. Yeah. Harlen takes it. Takes it down. Harlan's still way up, or not way up, but the big stack at least.
Yeah, we're going to punch in this command guy's cash win. That'll kind of show you ups and downs of where we're at here. That cannot be right at all. And I'm pretty positive, obviously, Harlan's up way more than 215. Robert's up definitely more than 800. So those cash wins are a little skewed. I know sometimes what can skew those cash wins is when players run it more than once. I know that can skew that because it just assumes that, okay, well, in the first board, you lost. And so even if you won the other two boards, the computer doesn't really know at that point. So those are always things we have to look out for.
Is there a chance that he's just down that much?
That who's down that much?
That Harlan would be down that much and then win a huge pot and then...
No, because he's up at 4.7. He started at 4K, something like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's 215. But we know Robert is up at least somewhere near 1,000. That number for Robert is pretty accurate.
It says Marty Joanna looks like the kind of lad that carries a fanny pack full of weed and an apple that he can MacGyver into a bong. Yeah, he actually calls it Johnny Appleweed. Yeah.
Oh, Porter with queens. 3 bets to 115.
And this might be a little rematch between Porter and Garland here. Oh, he folded. I thought it was like, is Garland going to find a way to ship?
Yeah. You might consider it with ace-jack, but I don't know how often you're going to go crazy with the rest of your stack with ace-jack. 6 setup joke.
God, I love our chat. You guys are the best.
Yeah, a lot of people sitting around 1.5.
Other than Garland, the smallest stack's 1,500. And when we started, there was 3 players well under 1,000 with chips. So they've either cashed up or reloaded or just busted out.
Yeah, Garland is taking the conservative approach, holding on, trying to win a pot, double up with his short stack. Not going to do it with King 4 offsuit. Eight 6.
He says, hates ace-jack, never wins with that, yet it always beats me. Yeah, I call that the parking lot hand. Because that's the hand that sends you to the parking lot, and you're like, how did I get here? Oh, ace-jack.
Hey, you smell it? Is that a weird smell? Like burning plastic or something?
Yeah, I smell some burning electronics. Hopefully our feed stays on. Could be back in the booth. Or maybe that's just Marty Joanna lighting one up. You never know.
See you later, Yo-Yo. Yeah, that is pungent. Mike B flops top 2.
Yeah, definitely some burning smell back here in the booth. Good times.
That is not us. We are not smoking anything.
Hopefully not. Well, no, that smoke doesn't smell like that. All right, top 2 here for Mike B.
Mike B. That's $100. Paul's gonna look him up with the top pair. Really bad spot for Paul if 10 comes off on the...
Yo, thanks for joining us, bud. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been great having you. Oh!
Wow, club draw now with top pair for Paul. Let's get some fireworks in the air.
Is Paul gonna... He's probably never gonna bet this spot. But check calling... Oh, okay, I take it back. Forget me.
He bets 200. Now, if you're Mike B, is this where you start applying some solid pressure here? Or do you just... Knowing Mike B's character, I wouldn't be surprised to see him put in a raise here. There's no straight potential. You have ace-queen. There's 2 flush draws. Oh, yep, there's the raise.
He's going nuts. And I wonder if Paul... If they... Maybe there's run it twice, implied odds are here or something. I don't know. I think Paul is going to probably find a fold here. 625, 400 more to call, which is like 1/3 of Paul's remaining stack. It looks like Paul has about...
White Kong in the house! My brother from another mother hanging out there in Vegas. Yeah, the thing about ace-queen right here is there's so many cards that you don't want to see, and right now you pretty much know it's good.
Yeah.
And any sort of card that completes either flush draw or puts a straight potential out there, you hate.
This is the exact kind of hand you don't want calling.
And he applied the pressure. He puts Paul in a tough spot. Because Paul pretty much knows he's got to get in the rest of his stack here if that's what he wants to do.
Well, the upside of raising on the turn here is also that if the club draw misses, you're not going to get paid, right?
Yeah.
More than likely, ace 10 is not going to call a big bet. Now he's counting through his outs, thinking like, if I'm not ahead, he's calling. Yeah.
Oh God, what if the Queen of Clubs? Don't do it, guys. Queen of Clubs for the sickest river ever.
Wow. Like a call here is interesting because I don't know how interesting it is. Mike B only has 700 behind.
Brick City, and now here's the sick part, right? Brick City, so you check.
You shove 600.
And now he insta shifts it. Now, this is not the first time that Mike has done this to Paul. Last time Paul found a fold. But if you're Paul, is it possible that you put Mike on something like a busted draw? It's potential. He could have had a hand like 10 jack.
It was a nice brick river.
He could have had a hand like 10 jack. He could have had a diamond draw. Obviously, you can't put him on a club draw, being that you have the nut club draw. I mean, you could, but I mean, do you hero call this now if you're Paul, thinking that Mike B's full of it?
Oh, he called.
Oh, and he did call it.
Mike B's getting some of that money back.
Ouch. And that's exactly what it was. That brick river, Paul just put Mike B on a missed busted draw with absolute air. And that's interesting because ever since the very first all-in we saw earlier by Mike B pushing into the river against Robert and with Stone Cold Bluff, essentially, every time he's done that since then, he's had the best hand.
I smell his Paul burning chips. I will say, it's like, man, that's a pretty big pot.
It's a rough spot.
And the
you know what? I'm going to write that down for a little analysis, little Bart Hansen Crush Life Poker analysis later for that.
For sure. I think, I mean, Bart is obviously going to have way better insight, but
yeah, no,
but if you're raising the turn there, his sizing on the turn is like 400 more, so he makes it like 650. And then, so when he shoves the river, he's shoving like 700 into like 1100, I think.
Yeah. That's sick. I mean, here's the deal. And let's talk about this. If a club does peel the river, well, I guess it's kind of relevant because then Paul bets. He's never going to check if he hits his draw. But if a club does peel the river and hypothetically Paul checks, does he make the same all-in move? I guess what I'm asking is, does Mike jam on that river no matter what comes?
Probably not. Not a club.
Not a club. Or
not even a diamond.
Not even a diamond.
I mean, because what is the guy calling your raise with that he's not shoving with?
Yeah.
Potentially a draw.
Yeah, exactly.
If a draw gets
if
there.
If he's got any sort of set, he's reshoving on you. Any sort of thing like that.
And then what you're counting on if you're Paul is if you're shoving that river.
Well, it's funny because that's one of those things where I'm like, does Paul now all of a sudden think that Mike could have had a because it was such a complete brick on the river, not only for Paul but for anybody else who was drawing to anything. Yeah. So, hero calls. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Ace Deuce 4 all hearts. Nobody. Wow, Garland, the only player with a heart.
Porter has a wheel.
Yeah, he was more likely, I believe. I agree with you, Lucky there. The club would have been a backdoor flush. So he would have been more likely to pay that off. As
Mike
opposed
B?
to a diamond, yeah.
Well, because it probably plays out that Paul shoves the river when
and
it comes
then
to
Mike
club.
D goes into the tank and then eventually finds a call anyway. So yeah, that's just the super alto brick on the river. Like it's just brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, it completes nothing.
That puts Mike B up on the day after losing. After losing a big pot to Robert Y, and now Mike B's up there with 3K. Looking pretty good. Paul W now under 300. So Garland's no longer the short stack.
Yeah.
Although it looks like Paul W bought in. He's got some white chips. Looks like he rebought already.
So White Calling chimes in and says, you never bet the river if a diamond or club comes. The only thing that calls is what can beat you, except he's still called on the brick though. But yeah, I think he's obviously talking. If you're in Mike's
Mike
shoes,
is shoving 100% of the rivers that could check to him. I think.
Yeah, of course.
Just because you raising there, maybe not.
But then again,
if a diamond or a club gets there, he's not going to shove. He'll just check back.
Exactly, because he has so much showdown value there with top two. He's like, I'm not going to risk bumping this pot.
But that was a perfect river for him to shove, make it look like a bluff, and he still has a pretty strong hand. I mean, I don't. It worked out well. I think it would be interesting to see what Bart has to say about that. I think.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Is the perfect river for you to feel very comfortable about shoving your 700 into whatever 11 to 1200.
Yeah, guys, we like to mix up the chip denominations here. Once again, the chip colors: greens are 25s, whites are 100s, reds are 5s. And we have about 10 minutes left in the stream. Still a solid amount of you tuning in. If you haven't clicked that heart yet, please do so. We have fun with you every
Get some email notifications.
Yeah, we have fun with you every Monday and Wednesday night hanging out. And you can always tune in to watch Harlan's bankroll just keep increasing. Because that's always good times.
Yeah, we're all here just watching the Harlen reality show.
Yeah, it's
Nina, some of the players
it's
do
Harlan's
watch the
poker
stream.
room. We're just
Yeah.
living in it.
Exactly. Yeah, some of the players do watch and listen to the stream at the table, and sometimes they're in the chat and they comment back to us because they're watching and they're hearing what we're saying. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I like this. Looking around, I'm not going to name names, but I see some heavy hitters, maybe some part owners of the casino out here playing in some games right now. And they're not playing in the high limit game. They're playing like the 1-2 game. They're playing like the 3-6 limit hangout. And that's cool, right? Obviously they got money. They can play whatever the hell they want, but they're just hanging out, interacting, buying drinks, and that's just a good time, man. That makes me happy.
Some of the most fun poker games I've ever played in my life are 4-8 mixed games.
Yeah.
During the summer in Vegas with a bunch of coworkers and friends, and it's silly. You play all night and playing absurd games like that. Some people just made up one day.
Anime girls, best girls. I love that username just from like the way it's worded of the English language.
And I like the email notifications.
All right, so open-ended here for Harlan. Poker overkill turns trips.
This could be a big pot with only 10 minutes left.
Oh, a deuce would just be detrimental here on the river. Complete Harlan straight. Oh, no Brick City. No player with a diamond either. And poker overkill does not slow down in the least. Insta-fire. Harlan gets away.
Oh, God, I'm so glad it didn't come.
That's what you see. I'm glad it just didn't come. You knew it was going to be nasty.
That's always terrible when your draw, hitting your draw is going to complete the hand that beats you.
Oh, it's so bad. We've all been in that situation where you're sitting here and you're like, club, 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 and then the other player flips over the hand with a bigger draw, and you're like, no club.
Yeah.
No club.
Never mind.
I'm totally kidding.
I instantly regret this decision.
So bad.
Super Raz Deucey, yeah. I have played that. Super Raz Deucey.
Sounds intense.
It's fun. I'm not particularly a fan of the Raz split pot games, but we did play this one game called 30. It is a stud variant where half of the pot goes to the best stud high hand.
Oh, look at this hand. Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
So Mike B opens for 20, Paul W with ace jack with a 3-bets to 60, and Marty Joanna waking up with aces. Now here is the one problem I see here. Marty Joanna has only played one other hand so far.
Right.
So if he comes in for a 4-bet, you're gonna. He might as well have pocket jokers face up as far as I'm concerned.
It's already over. I don't think anybody's really going to continue.
He's got a rock-tight table. Yeah, see, gone.
Yeah,
instantly gone. He's played one other hand. You know he's got aces.
Yeah.
He's never...
and that's a reasonable raise. Like somebody said, Paul burning chips again. Ace-jack offsuit in the hijack is not a terrible 3-bet. If you're going to play that hand, you probably don't want to call an early position raise. Raising and folding is not a bad idea.
So what was this 30 game you're talking about?
So 30 is half the pot goes to the best stud high hand, and then half the pot goes to the most pips in the hole. So 3 10s in the hole is 30, and that would be the best. That would be the nuts, right? So 10-9, 10-10, those. But you also have to get 7th Street and not have it be like an ace or a deuce, and otherwise you have.
Okay,
22.
so sometimes I just hear the rules for some of these card games, and I'm like, what super degen card player
that is an absurd
is
game.
like, how much more ridiculous and gamble can we make a game? I got it, let's do this.
Right. And then obviously, have you heard of or played the Dramaha?
No.
So it's Omaha, where the best Omaha high hand gets half the pot, right? So you get a flop and everything.
Yeah.
But you also get, you have 5 cards in your hand, and you're playing Omaha.
So it's like Big O.
But you also get a draw after the turn, and then the best 5-card hand in your hand wins the other half of the pot.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then they do just the 7 Dramaha. There's all kinds of crazy variations. It's like once you pick a game, then you tweak that game a little bit, and it's just like...
I can't deal with that. That's way too many levels. I'll stick with my 2 cards, occasionally the 4 cards.
Yeah. The very first hand of deuce to 7 Dramaha I ever played, it was a kill pot in the 2040 mixed game, so it's 30-60.
Yeah.
I have a smooth 9, which is like a great low hand, and I made a straight, and I get scooped. It was not exciting.
Yeah, whenever I try to play Omaha, it's normally Omaha, and they just take all my money.
Yeah. 8/8. Yeah. Double board Omaha High. That is also kind of a nuts game. All right,
Solid chip stacks building. Still 16 people on the list for this game.
How do you find a dealer?
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us this whole time.
In Vegas, if you want to play mixed games, Caesars is always hosting our game. That I played at Caesars a bunch. All the dealers, they're learning the games, but the players know how to deal them, and we tell them what to do. And typically, they know how to deal most of them. The weird games like 30, it's like, okay, just deal it as stud. We'll deal, we'll worry about the rest. But
Monster Hands asks, who chopped Garland down? I think Garland was pretty short from the beginning. I know he did have kings that ran into a runner flush draw.
Ooh, all right.
For a little bit there. But
5 minutes left. Garland's looking to get some of that money back. Just calls with pocket tens though. Maybe he's thinking, I don't know what. He still only has 435 behind. Maybe he wants to see a big pot here. I'm not sure. Yeah, Aria. I've played the Aria mix as well. So there's all kinds of games. But here's some action, potential action here.
Show me all cards above 10. How about all clubs? And everybody's got the club. Look at that.
Okay, this could get really.
So we got nut club to second nut club to fourth nut club.
Paul wastes no time, bet $60.
And this is
Garland's
nasty because
out.
Mike B also has top pair along with it.
Mike is probably going to continue here. I mean, I can't see folding top pair with a queen of clubs. But
this is so gnarly.
He's not going to continue.
Wow.
Paul might check.
No, Paul's in I want money back mode. He's not
True.
checking.
I don't think he's getting called.
185, he's betting 100 some change.
Although he might get called because Mike thinks his club is good.
Now, the problem is if somebody's calling on that suitor, or the suitored board, right, you figure they're going to have the ace of clubs in their hand. So that's like pretty much the worst card you can see ever on the turn.
All this sweet time. Yeah. The
Swoon.
mixed games are fun. We can't play very many of those games at Stones, but they do play Omaha here.
Yeah.
Stones. I know that one of the streams we did was a 5-5 PLO 8 game.
Yeah.
We've had 5-5 PLO with Chris Moneymaker coming out.
Yeah, and I like
playing.
that. I like when we do those 4-card games and stuff on here that we have the four color decks.
4-color decks.
Yeah, it's fun. Takes me back to my online days right there. I'm like, okay, so I have 5 blue cards. Got it.
Yeah, 5 blue cards. I am not going to continue it. Oh wait, 5 blue cards in your hand, or?
Yep. Copy that, Bob. Guys, this is the last hand of the evening.
All right. Well, we had a potential big hand brewing there, and the turn kind of killed the action, but that's not too bad.
Marty Joanna's thinking about loosening up his play and getting in there with King 8 suited. Maybe,
you know what? When
maybe.
somebody limps under the gun, you got King 8 suited in position.
He's doing it.
He's gonna call. I don't think I would hate a raise there necessarily, and that's in Poker Overkill says, "Get out of here." I think Poker Overkill is making a play to end the last hand. Pretty uneventful though. Harlen is gonna see the flop with Jack Deuce, which probably increases the chances that Marty's gonna see the flop. I actually feel like it's very early in the stream. Run for it, Marty. I wish he was in the stream earlier because I wanted to do that.
I respect that reference. Boom!
Here we
Diamond
go.
draw for Harlen.
Yep.
Top
This
with a
may
nut
be
redraw for Poker Overkill.
The last
Game on.
hand we deserve.
If a
or we
diamond
want,
hits the turn, expect fireworks, folks.
Well, it's enough to make Harlan's gonna play this hand, and you never fully
look at
top
this.
pair with the nut blocker too.
Yeah, wow. So Poker Overkill bets 75. Harlen makes it 250. Let's see fireworks.
Yes, I'm a super stoked.
Watch a diamond hit the turn, and that's actually.
Please.
Oh no.
I mean, technically a Harlan gain and out, right? A 10.
Yeah.
So it probably does deflate the action a little bit, but I can see Harlan betting this again. I could see him betting this again. I can also see him check calling. He might not check call though. He might check fold if Poker Overkill bets again. Yeah, wow.
Boom. No, he's firing. 375.
So this is, and then I don't see a fold here for Poker Overkill. I could see a raise here. I actually think he's more likely to raise than anything.
I don't. So looking at the action pre-flop, Harlen call, poker overkill raises to 50. Harlen calls 40.
Wow. I don't know. This is where Harlan's rep kind of comes into play, though.
Because that mid-range board, there's a lot of things in Harlan's range.
I guess Jack 10 gets there, yeah.
And what if Harlen played 5-7 and binked the open-ended on the flop and turned the 9?
Yeah.
That's I mean, Harlen was called $50 before a 5-7. That's not out of his range at all.
Poker overkill very aggressive though in spots where he's had worse hands than this.
It is, but it's
but
tough.
Maybe he's just worried
it's
about
tough
Harlen.
to just start dry calling all the way down with just one pair sometimes. Oh, listen to Harlen. I don't want to see a turn. Or I didn't want to see a turn.
10, right? Or that we said a 10. Wow, man.
Whenever Harlen says I didn't want to see a turn, it means he wanted to see a turn.
Yeah. Well, obviously Harlen with his hand would probably love to take this hand down on the flop.
And he's going to make the call. Against
Just
a player
call.
like Shane, the less talking, the better, I think. I wouldn't actually give away too much information here.
Dodge it. Okay. A jack deuce. Is Harlen going to pull a Mike B and go nuts?
I don't know if he...
I don't think he's going to.
I don't think there's a right amount that you can bet here to win this pot, but he's going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
1,400 in the pot.
Fight and try.
He raced at 250, then he bet 375. So this bet's got to be somewhere around $600.
This is the last hand. At least we're getting some.
$600. I nailed it. So I knew.
Good job. Up top.
All right, so I knew that was coming. Now let's see if it works, because that's a little less than half pot. Still kind of value-y. I think Poker Overkill's still going to find a call here. Maybe,
tank
but he's
calling
not going to like
probably.
it.
Him tank calling probably gets Harlen to bet more often than maybe he would on that kind of brick.
Yeah, he calls it. Yeah, he's going to find the call.
Wow, all right. So Poker Overkill makes a bit of money. Harlen calls out Jack High, but he actually has a pair of deuces. Either way. Either way.
How did Harlen actually gave himself less credit
Yeah.
than was required?
He was a huge value bet on the deuce right there. That's what he was thinking.
Yeah, that was. I mean, don't get me wrong. He applied the right amount of pressure. I don't think there was an amount he could have bet there on the river that gets poker
Once he
overkill.
calls the turn,
because you're either going to overbet it and it looks bloaty and you want to get a call. If you bet 700-800, I think you still get a call. Any less than 600, you're going to get called. There's no way you can do it. Anyways, guys, before we leave you here, win the button. Once again, be here Monday for that. It's going to be epic. I personally never
Labor
played a win
Day,
the button tournament.
$175 buy-in. Right?
Yeah, something like that. It's going to be rad. Whatever the buy-in is, I'm in. I don't care.
Yeah, I believe that is the buy-in, but
playing.
still. Yeah.
I'm playing.
Justin doesn't care about what the buy-in is, but you guys at home might care.
And then just in case you can't make it there, coming up here at the end of September, this is when our massive Stones Fall Classic starts. All those lovely faces you see there at the bottom and middle of your screen. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be absolutely good.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. I'm jealous because you're going to hang out with Dave Tuckman, who's actually the commissioner of one of my fantasy football leagues.
Nice,
so,
very cool. Yeah, no, and we're going to do the one chair, two commentators
one chair
thing.
fits all.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, it's good. So, guys, fun, usual 5-5 game here at Stones. Be here Wednesday for Jake and Veronica to call some shots there.
Jake and Veronica. It should be a fun time. Is that also 5-5, or are they playing some 1-3?
I am not sure.
You'll probably see some of the same faces, for sure.
Oh, yeah. If Harlen's not in the game, it's not a game.
It's a good to great chance that Harlen's in the game.
Harlen's like, are you playing cards? I'm in.
Yeah.
Right, guys.
Stones is open, right?
You guys are rad. We'll see you soon.
See you guys. Thanks for hanging out.